Hello. Hi, chat. Hello. I hope you're all having a wonderful night. I hope you're all vibing. I might have to turn this music down a little bit so you can hear me good. I think that's probably good. Hi. Hello. I see you're enjoying the new emotes. I am also thoroughly enjoying the new emotes. They bring me a lot of joy. I put them all together today in just a mad dash, a mad panic of like, oh my gosh, new emote. Here you go. Drop them in. And it's funny because I started a bunch of them and I was like, no, I want different ones. And I just made a whole bunch of different ones. Minus the fisheye. The fisheye was an old one that I started. And I was like, yeah, this one's good. It can stay. But I wasn't feeling those other emotions. So I made these. These are emotions that I feel and are very specific. And I can use them in other places. I make emotes that I want to use. And they're also cursed. It's what I want. With the exception of, the lovely sleep. Lovely little sleep emote for people who go to sleep during stream. It makes me very happy. I wanted it to look like, that one image of Homer Simpson when he's looking super cozy. I think I captured the energy. And also I have new physics on my model. So my model's gotten a bit of an update. Here, let me show the class a little bit. Look! I'm tiny! Oh no, I'm so small! I have tail physics. You see my tail moving around all by itself? It can go up here too, just so I can show everybody. Yeah. It's all very exciting. My hair is a bit bouncier. My arms move. My belt and my skirt. That all just a nice little physics refresh. Make things look a little bit nicer. Yeah. Get back to my normal size. Fresh. Clean. Yeah. Now when I go like this, I headbang. My bangs bounce up and down like that. And they bounce. There was a sway before, but now they bounce. It's valuable. And then, these arms also move in a better way too now. So now if my raid emote comes up, I can party a little bit better. Very excited about it. Well, today's game that I'm playing is called Over the Alps. I don't really know anything about it, other than it had good reviews, and I really liked the art style. It looked cool. Oh, Perp is enjoying the scrunch. You can thank Perp for the scrunch idea, because I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a good one. I like that. Hands. I have hands. I sure do. Oh, oh, I accidentally hit a number button while YouTube was up. Now no more music. But yeah, I got hands. But that's okay, we don't need music where we're going, because we're gonna play video game. Gotta have the scrunch. Alright, the music on this does not loop. On this main screen, it, like, you have to, why is the game so big? Why is the game... Did something break? Hello? Y'all are seeing... Why is the game so big? Hello? Let me fix that. that was, I don't know what was happening there, but I'm here. The music does not work, like it doesn't loop, so it plays once and then it doesn't keep playing. So I played some lovely music from the Vault of Ambience. You can find them on youtube.com. It's youtube.com/something. Actually, YouTube doesn't have URLs like Twitter does, but yeah, the Vault of Ambience. I love their stuff. I listen to their music all the time, especially when I'm trying to keep my work computer open. But yeah. Oh, I know what happened here. This game decided to full screen itself. I don't want this thing full screen. Get it out. That's why it was huge. It full screened itself. I like windowed. Okay, there we go. Much better. And also when you boot up this game, it starts off with a video at the beginning. I didn't watch it all the way through, so because I wanted to watch it on stream. But it seems cool. So let's watch it. I love the style of this. It's so good. This music's really loud, really quiet though. What you got in there? Postcard? Place in the Alps, I suppose. Alright. Now let's turn the music up a little bit in game. Yeah, this menu music's what? It happened again. Why do I keep doing that? It keeps full screening. Game got big again. Yeah, every time I open up this menu, I think it wants to full screen itself, and I'm like, stop. Stay in your window. You guys don't understand. My monitor is huge. My monitor is absolutely massive, and for things to full screen, it just like it obscures my entire view completely. Like, like I can't even like properly. It's not. It's the size of a small TV. I can't play a game like that. I need it to be a little bit more consolidated. I don't know. Maybe I was just raised with, like, growing up with a Mac. And I'm like, I don't like having one window take up the whole screen. I don't like it. So that's how I like it like this. So, but the music's gone. Music's gone very quickly. But let's. Those are credits. What's this? I guess we just click here. New game. I don't know which of the. It says 1 and 2, so I guess I'm gonna start with 1. When you first got big monitor, you were overwhelmed by how huge everything was. Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't need a 2K monitor, and I was kicking myself because everything's huge on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish this was a 2K monitor. Because it's one thing to have a huge monitor that, like, actually has, like, a high resolution. My icons, like, I feel like an old person. And I didn't mean to have everything set up, like, all the icons are huge. This is how it is. Mussolini fumes over daring prison escape. 4 prisoners escaped from a detention facility outside of Milan last night. In an incident, the Italian Prime Minister has branded the work of foreign agents. In a statement this morning, Mr. Mussolini vowed that no efforts would be spared to retrieve the prisoners, whom he described as dangerous political insurgents. Okay, I already love this. Postcard. I've been enjoying the sights and smells of Milan, my friend. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was like, what buttons am I going to press? Let me get my controller out. I have an easier time with my controller, and then you guys don't have to hear clicky-clack sounds of keyboard. Wah! Hopefully it's controller supported. But we'll see. Enjoying the sights and smells of Milan, my friend. Quite a city, no matter what Mussolini is doing to the place. Mussolini will wreck it in the end. He needs to be stopped. I hope Control knows what he's doing, pulling me out when there's so much still to be done. Not that I'm emotionally involved, of course. Oh, there's multiple options. I see now. Perhaps the war can be stopped before it begins. I don't think that's possible. Whatever's up here in the Alps, it better be worth it. Riva San Vitale in a few hours, Aubrey. We'll keep you posted on how I get on. Oh, we're British? We're not Italian? No. My Italian accent's way easier. How? You can choose from the stickers, yeah! Bogo's Benton is fixed! I fixed it! You can Bogo's! Oh, a little train! Look at this cute little train. Ooh!
Bogo's Benton?
My Bogo's! Also, it's like huge. I don't know why it's so huge, but it is. What is it? Compass? We can see where we're going? Okay. I think I need to use my mouse a little bit. This is where we're going. The crossing. Lugano, Rivera, Monteneri, Cadenazzo, Bellinzona, Schweiz. This is our little diary. It has the newspaper. I want to look at the newspaper. Oh, some stamps. Okay. Lots of stamps. Oh, this is interesting. I'm getting my bearings. Save? I don't need to save. Let it be known that once Valley, the bearer of this travel document, must be allowed to travel freely and unmolested throughout Switzerland. Oh. Well, now what? Oh, I just clicked on the train. 49 stops, Aubrey, and they called this an express. Switzerland is full of these electric trains, the young woman in my compartment remarked as we lurched to a halt once again. Not enough fuel here to run proper trains. No good coal mines, I think. She smiled at me, a prim, unaccustomed smile, like an ill-fitting shoe. That will soon change, she added. And will? Just like that? I rather like the mountains as they are, Fraulein. Just be an anime boy and just stare out the window. I like the mountains as they are. Then you are in luck. We will be amongst them for many more hours. She stuck out a gloved hand. Fraulein Wolf. Not Swiss. German. Mr. Smith, I said, as I shook the outstretched hand. Not making this up, Aubrey. That was her name. Miss Wolf. Fraulein Wolf. Greatest of pleasures. Oh. Oh! Oh, you can't see the art. Hold on. I want you guys to see, like, look at this cheeky art. Let me change it to this so you can see it a little bit. Look at cheeky! Oh, girl! We getting flirty. Right off the bat. Let's see. Greatest of pleasures, Fraulein, I returned. Not the greatest, I am sure. A wider smile this time. The train lurched back into motion. For a moment we were jostled together. 5 empty seats, and she had picked the one beside mine. I hear the air up there is exhilarating. Fraulein, please, do try to keep your balance. Oh! Ooh, where are you headed? I hear the air up there is exhilarating. Ooh, she's interested in me. I nodded towards the high peaks that now dominated the view from the window. The train was now rattling its way through Mendrisio. Yes, indeed it is, the Fraulein answered. My elder sister used to come here for her health. She was very vigorous. But now she's married. I've heard that marriage can be a drag to one's sense of adventure. Will you marry one day, Fraulein? I don't want to talk about marriage. And you? You're out here for your health? I am now a romantic! Amongst other things, she replied breezily. She turned to examine her reflection in the window glass and adjusted the fall of her hair. A pity. The way those soft blonde waves hit her brow worked fine for me. Oh my god. I love this game already. You're from Germany? They say war is coming. Well, let's not talk about war! Oh, weightier matters to consider. Okay, fine. Maybe we will talk it a little bit. I am a spy. I think. She nodded. I am quite sure of it, but even if our countries are at war, it does not mean that we must be, does it? Not on such a beautiful day in such a beautiful place as this. I hope not, at least. Perhaps I would be in luck and Fraulein Wolf would prove to be my contact. Ow, wow, wow, wow! Oh, I would kiss my way through this entire train. Absolutely. River San Vitale. Ooh, there's like, when you like move your cursor around, you get kind of a scrolling effect. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's go to the hotel, I guess? Aubrey, I saw the Fraulein again. Let me tell you about my contact. Waiting for someone, I suppose, Fraulein. I tell you, German girls drink like wings! I love that. Oh my god, I have to pick that. That's so funny. I'm now quite dashing! First round was hers, a frisky spritz. We drank it at the window seat looking over the lake. Then she waved me towards the bar. Your turn. Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred. Oh, so Negroni with a twist of lime. Flaming absinthe, I'll light it myself. Gin and tonic, per favore. Martini as dirty as you can make it. This is the most options I've gotten so far, and I'm like, ooh. I think I like a gin and tonic. I also just like whiskey. Like, he's like a strong guy. I like the stamp because it's got a kitty cat on it. I'm gonna go with that. Vodka martini, well chilled. Fraulein raised a finger, and one for the lady. We put them cheerfully away. Then it was her turn to serve once more. Neat grappa, no less. I don't mind saying I was having a fine time. So by the time my contact found me, I was definitely below par. He was a nervous, sweaty Italian. Oh no, I drank too much. He leant in close but not close enough. You are the agent, yes? We will go tonight, from the bay? After dark. He hurried away. Fraulein Wolf raised a delicious eyebrow. Agent? Travel. Travel agent. Ooh. It's not letting me, like, select properly. Drink up, Fraulein. Imagine saying that to anyone who wasn't your contact. Bro, are you the agent? I'm gonna be cheeky. I'm gonna be cheeky because I'm drunk. Fraulein Wolf adores you. Oh my god. He hurried away. Fraulein Wolf raised a delicious eyebrow. Agent? I raised a finger to my lips. Fraulein giggled. We finished our drinks. Oh, I'm gonna get some. I feel like this is a situation where it's like that post where it's like, get out of the way, bitch boy, I'm gonna get some. My identity has been stolen. Like, that's... Sexy women in your area, it's more likely than you think. Out of the way. My credit card info's been stolen. Yeah, I don't trust her. I think she's also an agent, but I love that. I don't... Am I supposed to... Like, what am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to take, like, there's, like, 2 crossings here. I don't know which to take. Oh. Idiot had arranged to cross the lake by rowboat. I liked Wolf, but I didn't trust her, so I intercepted the Italian and changed the plan. Oh, I'll take the rowboat. Like, even if I don't trust her, I want her interactions. I love it. Double agent on rival sides, love? Just like in Spy Kids. Yeah. Exactly like in Spy Kids. Yes. Okay, I think I did it. Okay. The UI on this is confusing me a bit. So... Aubrey, I'll spare you the details of how we rowed across the lake, but it was as grim a task as you might expect. What do you want? Yeah!
No.
Lux is here.
Hi.
Where was I? I'll spare you the details of how we rowed across the lake, but it was as grim as a task as you might expect. My Italian friend did exactly none of the work. I'll say, oh, you can hear the rowboat in the background. Lake Lugano is quite something. I like that. But also my Italian friend did none of the work is really funny. I'll be romantic. Big, wide, enchanting in the moonlight and all the rest. Then a shot rang out, then another. Dio mio, wailed my Italian. Be quiet, I snapped. Ooh, someone's shooting at us and I fear I know who. Just a car on the shore backfiring. Very common for cars. I think it's funny if it's just cars. My Italian, ooh. Cars, very common for cars. Cars and plans, in my experience. It seemed a wolf was following our scent. Oh my god. It's like she doesn't want me to drop easy art while she streams. Okay, fine. You're cool. You can stay. Hitler reaffirms promise not to invade Switzerland. In a meeting between Swiss and German officials last night in Berlin, the German Chancellor reaffirmed his country's commitment to respecting Switzerland's neutrality in the event of war. This should calm fears in the chocolate-loving nation, which is rumored to have significantly bolstered its alpine military defense systems in recent months. Okay. Okay. Ooh, I like this hotel. There's a hotel here, and there's also... Is this my boat? It's so cute. I love this. Ding! I want to go to a fancy little Swiss hotel. Oh, he's eating. He's having something yummy. Them bitches love chocolate. We're on the precipice of a war, and they're like... of World War II, and they're just... like, these guys love chocolate. Isn't that nice? That's right, Preminger. All of which puts us here, Aubrey, old chum, the imaginatively named Hotel Alpen. The Italian and I sat together at the breakfast table like a perfect couple of chumps. Chumps? Chups? Chumps. He had his napkin tucked into his collar. I can't deal with this man! Ready to tell me where we're going yet? I'm ditching you here, you understand? I don't even know your name. He's gonna tell me it outright. The oaf reached across the table and took my hand in his. Please, he said. It is my daughter. She has been taken. We must rescue her. What can I say? It sounded simply marvelous. And your daughter is someone important? I imagine? Look here, if you're lying to me... Well then, I suppose we better go and get her. Grazie al cielo? I'm not... I'm from New Jersey. It's Italian-American, okay? The Italian enthused, releasing my hand to pat his chest. I am Primo Vercoli, at your service. Smith. Frankly, I don't care. Oh my god, that's so mean. Let's be nice. I mean, Smith is such a generic name that I'm like, who cares if he knows that my last name is Smith? Like, I'll just tell him. Good to make your acquaintance, Senior Smith. I nodded and got back to the business of eating my kippers. We go to the train station in Lugano, he continued, then to Bellinzona. 2-3 hours. Then we rescue my daughter. They have her in the castle there. Leaned? I'm so used to saying leaned that I'm not leaned back, evidently pleased with his plan. And now, how is your smoked fish? May I try? Honestly, you tell Control I want that vineyard. He's taking my food! Okay. So now we, keep moving, I guess? Going to Lugano? My kippers! He's trying to take them from me. Okay. Walked the 4 miles to Lugano. We can walk, or we can hitchhike. I'm kind of interested in hitchhiking, just because, like, I want to know what kind of interesting characters we might find. But also, like, that doesn't seem like the smartest plan. Let's hitchhike. I'm gonna hitchhike. Not gonna get killed in the backwoods if you're hitchhiking. That's for sure. They'll at least find you on a road. I like the crab rave. Lugano. Ooh. Getting to Lugano was a peach. Getting the train to Bellinzona was quite the opposite. We had hitched a ride to Lugano in a Bugatti driven by a confident Austrian doctor, one Wilhelm Schweiger. We were friends in moments. I probed him, hoping to discover his political sympathies. Let's become friends. I'm like a really friendly guy. A Bugatti, yeah. Just like Britney Spears in the hit single Work Bitch. He was quickly diagnosing all sorts of things. The Italian had nervous hypertension. I have problems with my father, apparently. This will be nothing new to Control, of course. Schweiger himself, it transpired, had been at the same hotel as us back in Malid, and was currently engaged upon a driving tour of the Alps. Are you headed for Bellinzona? I asked, as casually as I could. Was he not concerned about the war breaking out across Europe? I considered stealing his car. No! We're fine. Eventually, yes, he replied breezily. I like to take my time and enjoy the view. We arrived in Lugano around lunchtime. Our Austrian friend joined us at the train station to buy cigarettes. That's when things started to go wrong. Look over there. Isn't that the charming girl from the hotel? Uh-oh. Ah! My girlfriend. My girlfriend. Where is she? Let's get the hell out of here. Uh-oh. You don't need me to tell you who Herr Schweiger had seen Aubrey. You know how my luck goes. It was the Fraulein, but she wasn't smiling now. Fraulein Wolf, you seem to be dogging my heels. My darling, but this isn't what you think. Hello, Fraulein, and goodbye? That's kind of sexy. You seem to be dogging my heels. As well I might, you hunt. She slapped me across the cheek. It rather seemed she was playing a scene, but for whom? She turned to address the audience that was beginning to form around us on the concourse. This man stole a priceless pearl necklace from me in a most ungentlemanly way. Perfectly all right, this is my wife! My wife! My wife! I might as well have given them opera glasses. This was better than a matinee at the cinema. The audience was hooked. Here! She thrust her hand into my jacket pocket and seemed to produce a string of pearls. The crowd gasped. As for Herr Schweiger, he was watching the show, a mixture of amusement and jealousy on his face. I heard the clatter of a police's car's bell approaching. Oops. Okay, what do we got? Turned and ran for the train? Not the end? Here, come on, Schweiger. I don't know if I trust him. Maybe I should have relied on the Italian. I don't want to turn and run. You heard me say my wife from the other room. I'm gonna see where Schweiger's, like, where his, like, loyalties lie. Oh no, I've been caught by the police! Oops. But what can I do? The doctor called back cheerily. She has you dead to rights, I think. Thief! As the Polizei dragged me away, I caught a final glimpse of Herr Schweiger. He was helping the Fraulein up into his car, no doubt destined for a better time than I. Oh my god. I got caught by the police. Well, now what? Taken by the police! Oh my god. I can't believe I got arrested! That's not very James Bond-like. Perhaps the Swiss Polizei are the most insane, or perhaps it's control. I had thought the police would take me to Bellinzona, throw me in the same cell as Vercoli's daughter, and save me a lot of bother. I worked on the officer in the back of the van with me. Done the handcuffs as best as I could. He was impenetrable. He might as well have been made of cheese. But when the van doors opened, I saw that we were not in the lion's den, but rather in some microscopic, unheard-of little town. Ooh. A cab. Yeah. Even the Swiss police. Where are we? I was dragged inside a beer house. The smell, sausages and stale beer. From the shadows at the back, a cigarette flared. This isn't a police station. Where am I? May I have one? I love when that happens. Like, I got handcuffs on. I'm like, I want a cigarette. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you. I have a question for you, English, a man's voice, deep, resonant. French, perhaps. What exactly have you been playing at? Don't answer questions from people I can't see. I am English. I demand you telephone the British Embassy. I don't answer questions from people I can't see. Police here call spies bed bugs. Did you know that? Little bugs living in their bed. The man paused to draw on his cigarette. Ironic, no? He smiled as he saw the realization dawning on my face. He was one of us. I had figured that. Otherwise, I'd be behind bars. I'd like to understand what you were thinking back in Lugano, making such a spectacle of yourself. It was the German woman. I was heading to Bellinzona with my contact. It was the German woman. Was it? Not a question. Well, friend, you are now, as one says, on the radar. The cigarette tapped on an ashtray with some petulance. From here on, for God's sake, stop making it so easy for my men to find you, and don't go off mission. Is that clear? Off mission? Yes, there was supposed to be a mission. Your contact knew the details, but he's still unaccounted for, I'm afraid. A flick of the cigarette, a little scatter of ash, a moment for me to consider. Unaccounted for, but... Vercoli, I begin. He was my contact, wasn't he? Ooh. Oh. Never heard of Vercoli before, now get moving. The cigarette moved to indicate a small door at the rear. We'll be in touch once control has worked out what good you can do out here. There was no time for more questions. I was hustled away through an empty kitchen, then out the back of the beer house. That Italian tricked us. I did give him my name. I gave him my name. Alright, well, I guess we keep moving? Let's see. Walked away from the town. Stole a policeman's bicycle. A cab. We're going. Bit of a sticky wicket on the way out of Rivera, Aubrey. Had a run-in with a local copper. Literally, I rode my bicycle right into his car as he turned a corner. Test of charm! Ooh! Could have spelled disaster, of course, especially since I was riding a stolen police bicycle. Fortunately, I got away with it. I played the hapless tourist, cracked jokes at my own expense, and wheeled away at speed before he noticed. Stealing the bicycle was easy enough, though why I thought it was a good idea to cycle up a ruddy mountain I cannot tell you. Two things were now clear. I mulled them over as I pedaled. One, Vercoli had not been my contact. As far as control was concerned, I had reached Riva, then gone completely rogue in the company of an unknown Italian. Two, wherever my actual contact had got to, he wasn't coming back. I had only myself to blame. It was Control's fault. I'll be responsible. All the signs had been there back in Riva San Vitale. He'd been too nervous, too awkward, but I'd been too otherwise engaged. Not the first time a girl had gotten under my skin and thrown me off my game, but the first time I was drunk. I was drunk when he introduced himself to us. Throw me off my game, but the first time I'd been docked for it. This must be how Bunny felt right before Control gave him the axe. Look how beautiful. I love it. Picture me, Aubrey. Log fire, warm brandy. I found an empty cabin up here, marvelously well stocked. You'll think me a lucky devil, but these are the Swiss Alps. Locals are too savvy to be caught short if they're snowed in. And I needed the brandy. I was mixed up in something, and it was rattling around inside my head like loose change. Knew I wouldn't be able to leave it alone. Oh my god. I imagined confronting Vercoli. I knew I wouldn't be able to leave it alone. I like that. I had a feeling that there was something in this wretched business that would be worth following up on. Then, an interruption. A knock on the door. Damn her eyes, Aubrey. Oh my god. Sometimes I wish I carried a gun. There was no point in hiding. The night was cold. She wasn't wearing a coat. Oh my god! Well, aren't you going to ask me in? Would that be wise? Would it matter? No! Would that be wise? I'm not armed, if that's what you mean. The Fraulein lifted her arms above her head and turned a slow circle under the light of the porch lantern. Look, she said. I looked. Satisfied? Without waiting for an answer, she stepped inside. If this went on any longer, she'd be helping herself to the brandy I've found. I had to come. I believe I owe you an apology, Mr. Smith. Only one? I was listening. I like that. It's very. I want to be cheeky. I like it being cheeky. Only one? Oh, I'm extremely charismatic. She ignored me and continued. I got you into the most awful lot of trouble, didn't I? This Vercoli business. Not as much trouble as I'd like to be in. She came over to me. There was an excitement in her eyes. Let's get in trouble together then, shall we? You want Vercoli's daughter, I think? And so do I. She giggled like a schoolgirl, one of those fearsome ones that carries a hockey stick. I propose a solemn pact, Smith, an alliance, to be broken the instant one of us double-crosses the other. It'll be fun, don't you agree? Yeah. If we play, you'll lose. Now that's the spirit. Wolf paced away across the room and curled herself up on the rug before the fire. She slipped off her shoes. Now don't be a bore. Pour me a drink and we'll discuss how we're going to spring the Vercoli girl from her castle. Damn her eyes, Aubrey. Oh, damn. All right. Well, I guess we keep moving. Or do I continue the conversation, I guess? Oh, I just have to click on it again. Okay. Her Mouser lay on the table by the couch, placed there after she'd removed it from the strap holster on her thigh. It's a gun. Okay. A Mouser is a gun. I've got Fraulein Wolf's gun now. She's sleeping. It dumped her bodily out the door. That's so rude. I don't need a gun. I got my charm. I'm like Batman. She's sleeping. As I look at her, I wonder if there's still hope. For her, for Europe. If people turn to bad, can ever be turned to good again. When they're sleeping, even Nazis look innocent enough. I want to lay a blanket over her against the cold. I feel a fool, Aubrey, but there are worse things to be. Oh, should we take the gun? She is a Nazi. This conversation did just remind me that she is indeed working for the Germans, and in that case, Hitler. So I guess it's probably fair for me to take her gun. Yeah. Or maybe she's double agent. I don't know. I want to see what happens if I don't take the gun. It wants me to take the gun. And I think it's funny if I don't. Oh. I'm not going to. I'm extremely dramatic. I am extremely dramatic. Thank you. Thank you. Those are funny masks. The funny masks, so it'll be funny to not take. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Call me a cad if you like, but remember she's a Nazi, Aubrey. I worked in the slaughterhouse on my uncle's estate one summer, Aubrey. Did I ever tell you that? The chief butcher asked me once, why are swine born with such wonderful eyes? Damn, her eyes. Ooh! That's good. Ooh. That's just, oh. Got, like, chills from that line. It's good. We down bad! Alright, let's get a move on. Simp, simp, simp. Big time. Downhill by bicycle? Yeah, I got a bike. Let's go. I'm just gonna fall right off this mountain. Do you ever watch those videos of people doing, like, biking in mountains that have, like, the POV cams? And I just get terrified. They're so scary. Like, I know people should, like, move that fast. It scares me so bad. Especially on a bicycle and not like a vehicle that's powered with like electricity of some kind, you know? Just free fall wheels going woo! A complication. As I hurtled downhill on my bicycle, I heard yodeling from the surrounding peaks. I caught the telltale glint of binoculars from a nearby outcrop. I was being watched. Could it be the police? Test of prudence, a test of confidence. Let's do confidence. I stopped and shouted for them to cease yodeling and show themselves, damn it. My voice echoed off the mountainsides. After that, silence. Whoever they were, I think I scared them off. I got back on my bicycle, triumphant. Hey, what are you doing looking at me? Stop looking at me. I'm just riding my bike downhill. We got a problem? Got a problem with that? It's a neutral country. Downhill on a bicycle is as close to flying as you can get, except that is for when you hit a rock on the road. I span like an acrobat and landed in a thorn bush, sore but in better shape than the bike. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna hurt myself. Bicycle was unrideable, seemed ashamed to leave it there. Yeah, clean up after yourself. Picked it up and unhooked the rear brake so the buckled wheel could turn freely. I limped the last half-mile down to a little village in the valley below. He got beat up. Soviet Union ratifies non-aggression pact with Germany. Today the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union ratified the Treaty of Non-Aggression between Germany and the USSR. The agreement, revelations of which shocked the world earlier this month, states that neither government may ally itself to or aid an enemy of the other. This pact marks a surprising turn from Stalin's government, following months of negotiations with Britain and France toward establishing a similar alliance. There's a church? Or I don't want to go to church. The entire population of Catanazzo must have been packed inside that tavern. Everyone knew everyone else. Everyone jostled everyone else. Everyone spilled everyone else's beer and then hurried to replace it, spilling even more in the process. Joined the fray. I couldn't learn anything here without attracting attention. Surveyed the room for a mark. We'll join the fray. Take me to church. The beer was white and thick as pancake batter. Went straight to my sun-addled head, but cheered me up to no end. Sang them a bawdy song I'd learnt in Milan. I, got into a fist fight. I left the tavern with my cover intact, but no useful information. Got into a fist fight! Man with enormous whiskers. Is that Bob from Bob's Burgers? Was convinced I'd been dallying with his lady wife because, and I quote the oath verbatim here, I smelled like a goat. Make of that what you will. A few punches later, I'd torn a hole in my jacket, but it did clear the air. I waved for 2 beers. They arrived, and we clonked our mugs together. Tell me, friend, are you married? 10 years. I kind of want to lie. "10 years. Not wholly untrue. That's about how long it's been, hasn't it, Aubrey, since you dragged me into this game? 10 years with 6 months off for good behavior. They say it takes 7 years before things turn sour, but for us, it took just 1. Not long after we were married, Maria became very interested in looking after our goats. The man's great mustaches bristled with sorrow." What a line. She goes up the mountain for hours and comes back smelling of goats. You know that grassy hay smell that goats have? Hey, don't be rude. Goats smell beautiful. The sympathetic smile I wore during this nonsense was faultless. Are you sure it was goats she was rolling around with? Oh my god. We already got into a fist fight. I'll wear a smile. I'll wear a sympathetic smile. It neither slipped nor faltered. I varied it for realism, even added the odd murmur of understanding. You would have been proud of me, Aubrey. We took a deep, sympathetic draft. I never know how to say that word. Wow, this, game is really challenging me on my words. And of course, we have no children, he continued. I should have very much liked to be a father. These are difficult times to be a parent. If you had a child, you could send them off to look after the goats instead. What a shame, I'm sure you'd be an excellent father. Perhaps you and the wife could adopt a goat? I like this because it has a goat stamp. I want the goat stamp. Maybe I'll have to, he agreed. All of a sudden, he sat up sharply and looked at me as if for the first time. Oh, but you're bleeding. Here, let me help you. He was right. I must have scraped myself when I came off the bicycle and not even noticed. It turned out my whiskered friend carried basic first aid. A deft hand with it, too. I was patched up and wiped down. Took my leave of the charming oaf. Time to seed a little misdirection should the police come by. Something suspicious is happening in Sasso Corbaro. Bellinzona, I know it well. All the best bookshops are there. What do you want to know? The best pumps are primed, Aubrey, and I'd primed this man just about to the limit. The words gushed almost faster than I could catch them, but nonetheless my net caught itself a decent fish. Bellinzona has 3 castles. The old one, called Sasso Corbaro, is an abandoned ruin where no one is allowed to go. The tavern crowd was thinning. It was time to move on. Busta Bellinzona departs whenever you are ready. Let's go to church for a second. Little church of Cadenazzo was dim and empty inside, blissfully cool. The space was so quiet that for a moment I didn't see the priest, sitting on the front pew, his head bowed. May I come in? Took a seat beside him. Let's be polite. I used my best Italian. The accent isn't too shabby now after all that time in Milan. Of course, all are welcome, he answered, still facing the altar. Thank you. Be polite. All without turning his head, that was when I realized he was blind. What's your name, my child? He asked. Don't be rude. I'll pretend to be Danish. Yeah. Ah, from Denmark. The priest smiled. My name is Locarno, Father Locarno, like the town not far from here across the lake. I want to go to Bellinzona. Are you from Locarno then? Oh, don't say you're from there because you just came from there, because you can't talk about it. You don't know anything about it. Are you from there? Middle name means summer in Italian. Does that mean I was born in June? I'd say so, yes. You're right, I was, but I was not born in Locarno. The old priest burst into laughter like a split beer barrel. My family are from Bellinzona, he explained, wiping his eyes. Bellinzona, I hear that's a lovely place. Yeah, tell me more. You're interested in seeing the castles, I suppose? We have a bus that can take you there. Are the castles worth seeing? Except for Sasso Corbo, which God saw fit to strike with lightning and leave a ruin. A place of evil, no doubt. A moment passed. Are you a Christian? The priest asked. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's a lot of answers? I don't know what, sect of Christianity that this guy might subscribe to. We can't say Anglican because that's a dead giveaway for me being British. Let's just say only at Christmas and Easter. They got so many. I'll pray you find your way back to God. We need all our our faith in the years to come, I fear. Ooh. Oh, if I picked better, I think I probably could have talked to him more. There didn't seem to be any more to be said. I offered my farewells and received a blessing in return. There was a sadness in his voice. Perhaps he saw a little of my future, Aubrey. He seemed the type. I wonder if he smelled my fear as well. I like that guy's design. I kind of want to, like, move myself, like, a little bit. Like, move my model just like a hair down here so you can see the portraits a little bit better. Because they're nice. Alright, well. I think I just have to take a bus now. Sleep. Marcy, sleep. Oh, this is the very end of it. Okay, so we have 3 different paths. Hike to Bellinzona. Friend from the tavern was driving to Bellinzona. Oh, I'll go with my friend. Yeah, I wanna go with the friend. I like making friends. Alf! His name is Alf! Oh my god. Alf turned out to be quite the conversationalist. He barraged me relentlessly with all sorts of impertinent questions. I swear, Aubrey, I needed to draw on all my training to maintain my cover. Test of deceit. Alf grew suspicious of you over the course of your car journey after your cover story contradicted itself. No! It was a complete travesty, Aubrey, to be honest. I got my cover story muddled and he picked up on it. His questions grew more and more probing. He definitely grew suspicious that I was hiding something. Ah! Friend from the tavern, Alf was off to visit the bookshops of Bellinzona and stock up on new reading material. The trip was fast and efficient, but there was one cost. He would undoubtedly remember me very well indeed, should anyone think to ask. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. Police are searching for me. Uh-oh, I didn't know this would be a thing. Uh-oh, I got into a fist fight. Priest told the priest I was Danish. That covers my tracks. Man who spoke to the blind priest in Cadenazzo claimed to be a Danish tourist. Seems like this isn't the fellow we're looking for. Man named Alf wandered into our station at Cadenazzo. He'd given a car ride to our suspect, and the fellow couldn't keep his story straight. Definitely something fishy going on here. This is no ordinary thief. Act 2! I didn't know there'd be so much more. Oh my god. What was music? Castle. As soon as I arrived, I paid a visit to the largest of Bellinzona's 3 castles. They called it Castle Grande, for obvious reasons. We may as well have arranged it as a rendezvous. Vercoli was there, skulking obtrusively outside the walls, squinting up at the high, narrow windows, fretting. Oh my god. Watched him while I turned matters over in my mind. Went over and clapped him on the back. Oh! Went to stand at his shoulder for Coley. Clapping him on the back. He jumped about 1.5 feet into the air, laughing nervously on his way back down. Senor Smith, you came back. I thank you. He took my hand in both of his and shook it vigorously. My wounded arm, it hurt like the dickens. Left me in Lugano to get arrested. What else could I do? Besides, he said, risking a smile, you are here now, so you got away, no? He turned to look back up at the high windows. I do not know where they are holding her. He was wringing his hands again. I do not know if she's valuable, she's still alive. Ooh. I don't owe this man kindness. He gulped at that. Yes, of course. Cielo, oh, mia cara figlia. I needed to get Vercoli away from there, Aubrey, before this little recitavio. I don't know Italian. Recitativo of recitativo. Shut up, Lux. This is my house. Of his broke out into a full-blown operatic aria. Before, darling, you made it. Our little opera had taken the Wagnerian turn. Enter Fraulein Wolf, eyebrows raised. What have you done to your jacket? Oh, Fraulein isn't her first name. It's just like saying Miss. Wolf feels so cold, though. I'll do that. Wolf. She laughed. You make such a meal of it when you say my name. It's like this, Wolf. It's delicate, like a little puff of smoke, not sounding like a man who has eaten too much dinner. Vercoli clasped his hands together. Please, Fraulein, my Louisa. Isn't another castle completely? Come along, boys. She winked at me. Let's put this partnership to the test. Ow! Ooh, there's a lot of options. Our likely trio wound its way up towards the Sasso Corbaro. It was the smallest and most ruinous of the castles at Bellinzona. The Fraulein strode ahead of us like a leggy goat. Vercoli shuffled along behind with his little penguin steps, but, in fairness, with the vigor of a man possessed. No one spoke. An unmarked truck was parked outside the front entrance to the ruin. Could ask for a gun. Should overpower the truck driver and take his uniform. Go in around the back through the bushes. Go in and throw my weight around, see what happens? Oh my god. We're trying to keep the cops off our back. Stop. Go in around the back through the bushes. I like that. Take his uniform. Very good, Fraulein agreed. She pulled out her Mauser, strode up to the front of the truck. Before the driver could react, she had the door open, gun pointed towards him. She motioned him down from the cab. A sharp strike to the back of the head from me had him senseless on the grass. A moment later, I was dressed as an Italian military officer. Woo! That's right, Italian military. I was as surprised as you are, Aubrey. How dashing you look, smiled the Fraulein. All you need now is a really splendid mustache. Time for this Italian soldier to report in! Oh my god, look at his funny little ears! Marched up to the front gate of the castle. New recruit reporting in. So just salute. Just salute. The guard waved me past without even looking up from his newspaper. Then I was inside. Bare rooms, their doors either missing or fire blackened. Field equipment stacked in corners. From nearby I heard a woman's voice echoing around the stone walls. She was singing, Avanti popolo alla ricossa. Okay. Trap I approached with caution. There wasn't a moment to lose. I looked around first. Let's be smart. Italian military intelligence by the look of things. Not invading Switzerland, presumably, so here by some kind of arrangement. A nice little quiet place to interrogate people, perhaps. Finally, I reached the main room. There she was, Vercoli's daughter, alone, sitting on an army crate, gazing out the mountains through the windows as if she were on holiday. They hadn't even bothered to tie the girl up. She glanced at me without much interest. A black-haired girl, 20 or so, pretty perhaps, but no beauty. What? That's rude. She's beautiful. Hey, Miss Smith, I'm here to rescue you. Waited for her to say something. I mean, how do you know it's Vercoli's daughter? But I do like that saying just your father's outside. Your dad's outside. Oh, women are queens. That's right, perp. Your dad's outside. He's here to pick you up. Her song stopped immediately. Her face lifted. Papa! She was up and hurrying out of the door. We hurtled past a waiting guard who jumped to his feet, but was quickly knocked back down again. The other guards went to town to fetch proper coffee, Louisa explained as we reached the outer yard. I wouldn't drink that dried stuff. Girl had taste, I give her that. No time for a chat. Girl had paste, I'll give her that. But there was no time to talk cappuccinos. A group of Italian soldiers were coming up the hill. They'd seen us and started to wave their arms around. But we were ready. Wolf was behind the wheel of the truck. Louisa leapt up into the back and into her tearful father's embrace. I slammed the tailgate. You'll be safe? Let's Riccoli nodded. The girl didn't look up. Fraulein already had the engine running. I flung myself into the passenger seat as she threw down the brake. We sped away down the mountain road at a tumbling pace. Alright. Let's get the hell out of here. She's driving, is fine. Bang! We must have run over something terribly sharp because the front tire exploded more suddenly than the Hindenburg. Fraulein ushered us out and ordered me to fix the bloody thing. I can fix a tire. No spare, of course. In the end, I trudged 2 miles up to a fuel station and rolled a spare 2 miles back uphill. Luckily, no one stopped to help Wolf in the meantime, or she'd have left me in the lurch. That's true. I didn't think about that. Fraulein drove like a thing possessed. She positively whooped after each corner as though she hadn't expected to clear the bend without turning us turtle. It's a good thing for Coley and Louisa couldn't see it. She was driving fast so I couldn't throw her out. I enjoyed the ride! It reminded me of one of those motor rallies we used to have when we were up at Oxford. Do you remember those, Aubrey? Louisa's voice was growing louder from the back, quavering, but not just from the bumps in the road. Papa, isn't that a German lady? Papa, what have you done? You'll have a mutiny on your hands soon enough, I warned the Fraulein. Must be getting tired. Let me take the wheel. Mutiny on your hands soon enough, I warned. We'll see about that, she shouted back over the noise of the engine. She turned from the road just long enough to shoot me a cheerful grin. It was a challenge that said, your move. I gave up on conversation and held on white-knuckled to the dashboard for the rest of the ride. I don't know where we're going. I don't care. Nobody's told me what my mission is. Like, I'm just out here vibing. Get out, said the Fraulein. She sounded almost bored all of a sudden. Go in there. Ladies first! She made no sign of leaving the driver's seat of the truck. I raised an eyebrow. They don't allow women in there, she said, and don't look so surprised. Your English clubs are just as bad. Who's inside? Oh, you know, Smith. My people are much like yours, I expect, replied Wolf, with a look of sour disdain. Men who loll about all day in nice clubs waiting for cables and Italian girls. She paused to adjust her hair in the mirror. In you go, then. Quickly now. You think they're going to appreciate a British agent turning up at their private club? A British agent delivering them a valuable asset? They'll be delighted. She grinned one of her more childish grins. Now go, I'm cold and I want you to deliver me a bratwurst. She blew the horn of the truck. The sound rolled around the valley like a stone in a barrel. Oh my god! Girl! I'll give her a you know, give her a look. I turned from the door and walked back to the truck. Wolf rolled her eyes. See the windows on the first floor? There are marksmen up there. Hunters who sit there bored all day waiting for something to shoot at. Sometimes wolves, sometimes deer. Right now, they're drawing lots to see who gets to put a pinhole through your hat. just turn around and walk back in. I'll just go in. I'm into the lion's den, or so I thought. I am enjoying the ride. Clubhouse was a dimly lit, comfortable, quiet space. Gas lamps on the tables, a single electric bulb above the bar, the air thick with wood smoke, cigar smoke, and roasted cheese. Pulled my collar up. Slunk across the room. That's like so suspicious. I don't know, clear my throat. Let's just...
Hello there.
I don't know, be normal. Hello there, thank you for the follow. Two men on one side were playing chess. One was falling asleep while the other chewed his mustache. Is that Walt Disney? What are you doing here? I don't know any other men with pencil-thin mustaches. On the other side, a man was intently tearing a newspaper into strips and burning them in the flame off a table lamp. No one seemed to notice me. A waiter slid over as though on skates. "Signor," he began. "I believe I'm expected." "The Germans, where are the Germans?" "I believe I'm expected." Gomez Adams, yes! The king. Waiter looked around the room with a carefully composed blank expression. "Not by any of these gentlemen, I think," he replied. Check again. Oh my god! Ooh, no! She took off without me! Get the fuck out of here! Not fast enough. I was just in time to see the truck disappearing away around a corner and off into the gathering dark. Waiter appeared smoothly at my elbow. Perhaps Senor would like to become a member. Oh no! Ah! I can't help it! I'm gonna simp! Stole a car. Whatever, I can steal my own car. I wasn't even working for Vercoli, okay? I'm doing my own thing. My cool guy attitude is completely dissolved. I'm just a simp now. I heard a horn blasting behind me. It seems a few fellows from the Messel Club had noticed me hot-wiring a car outside, and they piled into a boxy black sedan to give chase. Test of guile. When it became clear I couldn't outpace them, I swerved off-road and turned off my lights. Idiots zoomed past, oblivious. I waited 10 minutes to make sure I'd shaken the blighters off, then proceeded happily to Livorgo. Ha ha! That's very clever. I like that. I can't believe she just drove off. I can't believe it. What a woman. It was getting dark, and I was driving through the valley without my lights on, hoping for a stroke of luck. Then I had one in Livorgo. There was the truck. The Fraulein had pulled it up in front of a little tavern. Maybe she had been hoping I would find her. Clambered into the back of the truck to wait out the night. Stormed inside to confront her. Cut the fuel line on the truck. You gotta get out of here. It would be pretty funny to be like, hello, it's me. But I think if I wait in the back of the truck, it's like I'm avoiding conversations with people, and I want to have more conversations. And inside the tavern, there she was, all alone at a table, nursing a mug of beer. Her face lit up when I entered. "Smith, I'll be honest, Smith, I did miss you. Please join me." She gestured to the empty chair opposite to her. I sat down. The others have gone to bed already, which leaves you and me. You and I have a problem, wouldn't you say? The innkeeper appeared with a plate of sausages, and we fell silent. You were in Livorgo to see the Alpab fort? The Alpab fart? The man asked. The Fraulein rolled her eyes. I adore the Livorgo Alpab fart. Let's just stay quiet. Wolf couldn't keep from snickering. The innkeeper's mustaches flapped about indignantly. Everyone comes here for a Alpab fart. You will see, it is very special. With that, he shuffled away. Well, darling, the Fraulein sighed. Where were we? Why did you bring me into this? What do you want out of this? You'll have to ask the Italians what they want to do. What do you want out of this? That's my question. I want the girl, of course. If she truly knows what the Italians believe, well, I'll most likely get a medal once she's safely in Germany. She sipped the dregs of her beer. Now, Smith, tell me, what is it that you want? Depends what you're offering. Oh, please, said Wolf and laughed. You know precisely what I mean. She raised a finger and poked me in the chest. What do you need to satisfy your masters and walk away from this with the head held high? Information, of course. Whatever that girl has will be valuable to England. I want this to end without bloodshed. I want you to defect to our side, Fraulein. That... I do want that, but, like... She could easily be, like, a double agent, you know? She's smooth. I don't trust that. I want this to end without bloodshed. Yeah. So do I, she replied. But I find it hard to see how that can be arranged. Perhaps you could simply walk away from this. She paused a moment to take a sip of her beer, then raised her head again to look at me, mock surprise and puzzlement on her face. Still here, she said. What if I promised not to shoot you in the back when you leave? Why did you set the police on me in Lugano? I've looked too dumb in front of her too many times for the defecting line to work. So? I thought putting a little heat under your bottom would keep you bubbling. She sipped her beer to mask a smirk. I didn't think you'd actually let yourself get arrested. She finished her beer. It seems to me that there are two possibilities. Either I am your prisoner or you are mine. Not going to hurt you, Fraulein. You'll be safe and out of the war in England. Then let's wrestle. I'll win. What do you propose we do? Flip a coin? Fuck. Damn it. Brute, she said, stood up. I'm going to bed, innkeeper. This man is not my husband. I don't care where he sleeps, but don't let him near my room. Damn it. I lost my touch. This is so sad. I have simped too close to the sun. She stalked away up the stairs. It wasn't the last I saw of her that night. I'm mad. In the early hours of the morning, Germany invades Poland. In the early hours of the morning, German troops marched across the border into Poland. Germany's Chancellor Adolf Hitler alleges the invasion is in response to an attack last night by Polish soldiers on a radio tower near the German border city of Gleiwitz. Polish leaders issued statements calling on their allies, Britain and France, to mount a military response in accordance with the agreement signed between the three nations earlier this year. Okay, we'll find it. I'll take the car. Both the Fraulein and I got up early in hopes of getting away before the other. It did neither of us any good. The Italians slept until nearly 10. So we found ourselves sitting on the doorstep of the tavern together, sipping coffee and looking across the valley at the mountains. This war will end one day, you know. I remarked. People like us will be friends. So, where to today? North, the Fraulein replied. The Italians appeared and we ate breakfast together. Once finished, we bundled ourselves into the truck. Wolf reaching the driver's seat first. That's okay, she can drive. I don't like driving. And I don't know where we're going, so... Started the engine, headed along the valley. Let's go! Oh, she hit a tree. Came across a car crashed into a tree. It had obviously been a bit too bold around a tight bend. Louisa insisted we stop and help. Wolf, of course, said we didn't have time. I'm trying to not make, like, myself known. I should probably avoid it. You have to be realistic sometimes, Aubrey. Someone who wasn't a fugitive would soon be along to help the poor fellow. We sped past him, and I made sure to cover my face with one hand. Yeah, I don't need any more attention. The road wandered through the valley like a drunk, going backwards almost as much as it went forwards, sometimes climbing, sometimes falling steeply away. The Fraulein was still behind the wheel, driving fast. There's a tunnel at the end of this valley, Louisa remarked to no one in particular. She was staring at the window of the front passenger seat. The Fraulein was still driving, and I was now in the back with Bercoli. I saw it marked on a map back in the castle. It's the Gothard Tunnel. It's the rail line out of Verolo. I don't mean that one, Louisa replied. That one's 57 kilometers long. This one is short and narrow, only a few meters wide. I turned to glance at Vercoli, who shrugged. My daughter is usually right about these things. I could almost believe it, Aubrey. Louisa was beginning to remind me of some of the girls that we knew up at Oxford, always throwing a chap off guard with some clever fact or other. Gotta love a clever lady. The police are searching for me. The innkeeper was suspicious of me, but that's not so bad. It's got just one. Just one. It's fine. It doesn't even stack. I didn't even keep the one from last time. Yo, we have a festival in town right now? What's going on? Oh, they got cows. They got fun little things on their head. Oh my god. Look at them. Look how cute they are. Aubrey, let me introduce the wonderful little hamlet of Ambry. Oh my god, they're so cute. Let me also introduce its marvelous tradition of dressing cattle up like maidens at a midsummer maypole and parading them through the streets. This is going to slow you down a bit, Fraulein, I observed cheerfully. She dropped the truck into its lowest gear. We idled so slowly the engine stalled out. Behind the cows were the cattle drivers, yodeling and hollering to jolly them along. The creatures themselves were adorned with garlands of flowers and ribbons, a bit too floral for my tastes. I had a mind to join in on the yodeling. Don't start yodeling. It's delightful. I love it. Why don't we have traditions like this in England, Aubrey? It makes our British farmers seem rather dour in comparison. We must have driven right into the middle of the Alpafart. The festival the innkeeper told us about. Anyway, it was glorious luck. What better diversion could there be for staging an escape? I guess I'll get out and clear a path. Oh, that's stupid. She's gonna drive away without me again. Just drive through them. You can't drive through a cow. Get out and shoo them out of our way. I got down from the cab. The smell in the road was something, but it was nothing compared to the cacophony of bells. From the road I drew the Mouser and pointed it at the Fraulein. I could. I could. I didn't take the gun. It just, the game gave it to me at some point, I guess. Hmm. Ooh? I caught Luisa's eye through the window of the van and winked. She looked confused for a moment, then took a long out breath. Ooh, I'll help Smith, she said, opening the cab door and disappearing between the nearest cows. Vercoli followed quickly. Even more cattle were gathering around now. It was as though we'd driven our truck into a raging river. I found Vercoli's hand, and he Luisa's, and we quickly wound our way through the dancing cattle, between the buildings to the edge of the village, onto the open road beyond. Freedom! Bye! Bye! Bye, lady! Ooh, okay. We've got options here. Get pranked! Yes! Marcy with the bye! Okay, lost no time hiking uphill away from the road. Hitched a ride to... I'm not hitching any more rides. I'm gonna get caught. That was so funny. I love that interaction. That was really good. Flirty relationship ended with Fraulein Wolf. My new babe is Louisa. Surrounded by the mountains, we walk side by side, sometimes in silence, sometimes talking. Italian soldiers, did they hurt you? Let's butter her up. She shook her head. The Capitano was a friend of ours. He would have never allowed his men to hurt me. Why did he bring you to Switzerland? How did he convince you to go with him? So you went with the captain and his soldiers willingly? They didn't use force? I want to get to the meat of the matter. He told me he brought me to Switzerland so that his men could question me, instead of those brutes in Milan who normally do the interrogations. Louisa shuddered. That was a very short interaction. I would have loved to have talked more. Church! Let's go to church. Tiny chapel sat on a ledge overlooking the lower slopes. A few goats were chewing at the weeds that fringed its whitewashed walls. I have not taken confession in many weeks, Louisa remarked. There may be a priest inside. I'll keep watch. I'll be nice. That's probably stupid. Thank you, we won't be long. I watched as Louisa and her father entered the chapel. I still hadn't discovered what it was that she knew that was so valuable. The Italian government knew. The Germans, too. Now even God was going to know before me. I went to the edge of the mountain ledge to keep watch. For myself, I paused on the threshold. You goats have it easy! Wait, Italians attended confession at a rural chapel. Hopefully they didn't say anything incriminating. But isn't the point of confession? No! The priest talked to the cops! No! Damn it! Damn it! One of them must have heard me as I lifted its head, and it gave me a side eye as though to say, "You think you've got problems." The Italians reappeared soon enough. Vercoli touched my arm. He looked more confident or resolved. It was hard to say. Now we can go, Louisa said. These guys got big mouths. I forgot about that. Okay. Anything else I can click on here? I think we just gotta keep hiking, I guess. Bicycles. I freewheeled at Airolo at high speed. We're not doing that again. Zigzag down the slope. Let's be a little bit more responsible. When you're nice and now the cops are gonna find you, I'll stop being nice when the cops get real close to my tail. Bad news, Aubrey. As we descended, I heard the baying of dogs in the distance. The police had set hounds on our trail. Test of cunning. Yes! I wasted no time leading us down a riverbank and splashing in the shallows. We doubled back against the current and clambered onto dry land a mile upstream. Success, Aubrey. The barking was long gone. We'd shaken them off. Yes, 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 yes. I'm not gonna get caught! The path hugged the valley wall. Mountains loomed on either side. Even higher mountains loomed ahead. I had decided we should head to Zurich. I don't need to tell you why, obviously. From there, it would be easy to bundle them off to France by rail, though I hadn't said that. I think that makes sense. The only flaw in this plan that was Zurich was over 100 miles away, and we still had a Nazi on our tail. Suddenly, Louisa exclaimed, "This is it. Do you remember the tunnel I told you about? It's here. I mean somewhere. I recognize the contours." Can you be so sure? Can you find it? It's on the north side, she replied, but that's all I know. The plan I saw was just a sketch of the mountains, nothing more. My daughter is very special, Primo put in. Very rare. The path began to descend. We fell into silence as we picked our way carefully down towards the small town of Airolo. I'm like losing one every turn and gaining one. I guess that's like even, you know. Oh, maybe two? No, this one. Track the suspect to Oratorio Santa Barbara, where the priest told us a pair of strangers had attended confession. He wouldn't break the confessional seal quite rightly, but we could tell from his sweating that he'd heard something shocking. Oh my god. Train to Goshenen leaves when you are ready. I guess we can just, like, go. What is this? Luisa's recollection of a secret tunnel out of Airolo was correct. Then my guess for an entrance was somewhere in the military fort at the foot of Goddard Pass. The fort was a granite-roofed block sunk into the ground with a wide trenchant encircling it. It must have filled up with snow for 6 months for every year, and buried the place completely. If there really is a tunnel, Louisa hissed as we crouched in the stand of bushes by the edge of the trench, then how are we going to get in it? I do not like tunnels, Vercoli added, unhelpfully. You can be quiet. Have to get into the fort somehow. Knock on the door and ask. I'll scout the perimeter. It's responsible. Creeping through some bushes, I reached the edge of the trench and peered down. The drop was about 6 feet. The trench ran in 2 directions, back towards the fort and away from it, sloping down towards a dark arched opening. A tunnel, just as Louisa said. I waited and watched. No soldiers came in or out of the tunnel. It seemed likely it was never used. A scuffle in the bushes announced the arrival of Louisa. That's quite a drop, she observed, sticking her head out over the edge. I'll go first. I don't care. I'll go first. Drop down to the grass was perhaps 6 feet. I slid myself over the edge, clinging on with my fingers until I dropped. Now you, Louisa, it's easy. For you, perhaps, she hissed back. You're taller than me. Come on now, I'll catch you. I'll catch you. She grumbled. Her face disappeared, then a pair of shoes appeared over the edge of the trench. As soon as her legs were in reach, I grabbed them. Now you let go, I told her, with a mouthful of skirt. No, she called down, because if I let go, I will fall. Trust me, I have you. Bercoli, give your daughter a shove, would ya? Oh my god. I definitely want to play this game. Just being, like, the most, like, uncharismatic, like, rude guy. It would be so fun. Oh, but, like, this is the suave run. We're at least gonna try to be good. I want to be brash. I'll play this on my own time, like just a rude, tough guy who takes no names, like the variant where I'm an American. And not a British spy. You rang? No, not you. You're a different tough guy. You're tough lucks. Trust me, I have you. She let go, but her balance was all off. Or was it mine? We fell backwards together onto the grass. Louisa cried out, then laughed with embarrassment. We both did. Better luck next time, eh? I said as I rose and offered her my hand. We looked up towards the edge where Vercoli wasn't. He wasn't with you when you came to find me? Uh-oh, Daddy! He wasn't with you when you came to find me? No, she cupped her hands to her mouth. Papa? Nothing. Maybe he lost sight of us. Then I'm afraid he's on his own. We're not going to be able to get back up there to get him. We should get going. Lisa looked horrified. He knows where we're headed. He'll meet us there. He'll be safe enough on the train. I'm not going without him. That's a really rude thing to say. You may have to go without him. Oh, I don't really want to, but like the game's not really giving me an option. This is unfair. If we had just taken the train out of Arolo. It was the sound of footsteps that settled the argument. Someone was coming. It couldn't be him! Like... I mean, there's also a hotel over here that I wanted to check out, but I guess I can't. I didn't want to leave him behind. He was... he was kind of a sap, but like... I would have, if given an option that wasn't like a rude thing to say, I would have taken it. It's not like he got shot, you know? We would have heard it. Ooh. Spooky. The darkness of the tunnel beckoned. Louisa stood by the entrance, refusing to budge. Now we go back for him. Can you see any sign of him? No. We were both whispering, our hissed words echoing away from the dark tunnel in front of us. If they've found him, they'll have put him on the train. He knows where we're going. He knows where we're going. No, Louisa, don't lose faith in me! Please! I motioned towards the tunnel. We're ahead of Wolf for now. Let's get to Goshen and keep it that way. She paused, still looking back at the tunnel mouth, hoping Vercoli would appear. He didn't. She nodded unhappily. I took her arm in the semi-darkness. Come on, this way. We'll be in Goshen in a few hours, and your father will be there, I promise. Oh! No, I don't like this! Tunnel seemed to run for miles. With no electric lighting, it was pitch dark, narrow enough that we had to walk single file. I led the way. Are there rats down here? Louisa asked. There must be rats. Rats can't hurt you. Then you've never seen a Milano rat, Louisa replied. A Milano rat can kill a fox. We walked on, underground in darkness. Time and distance telescope outwards. Intimacy is easy. Your father seems devoted to you. Louisa nodded, though for a moment. Do you have any children, Smith? None that I know of! Oh my god. Let's just say no. And there is no one back home? No girl hoping? There was a girl once, but not anymore. Ooh, that's good. Why? Did she marry your best friend? Yes, she did in the end. But I didn't mind. Oh, I didn't see what that just said. Chat, if you were looking, I would love to know what it said. Nope. Oh well. Maybe it'll say it in my little book. I'll check that. She did in the end, but I didn't mind. I winked at her. We were only 8 years old after all. She laughed. I stopped. We had reached a branch. Identical tunnels disappeared into the darkness in both directions. We go left now, Louisa said. You're certain? I trust her. Yes, the tunnel on the right takes us back down the south, according to the map. After a thoughtful pause, she added, I have photographic memory. I remember everything I see, even if I've only glimpsed it. I I want to ask, like, oh, are you like really? But like, are you serious? Sounds like it's a kind of a mean thing to like. Are you serious? Like, come on, like you joking with me now? But that's also what this one is. Like now I've heard it all. It's like just be like, wow, that's pretty pog. Can't you like say that? Photographic memory, cripes. We went left. You don't think this guy knows what pog means? Why not? A glimmer of light, but it wasn't the exit. It was coming from the arc lamps strung along the length of the railway line. Our secret passage had opened out into the wider darkness of the Gotthard rail tunnel. You saw something in Milan, something you weren't supposed to see. A memory like yours, Louisa, it would be invaluable in war. Louisa gave me her secret! I paused to see if she would confirm my suspicions, but she said nothing. I tried again. The Italian soldiers. They wanted you to tell them about it. She thought for a long time, then nodded. It's a blueprint for a compact radio transmitter, small enough to fit in a suitcase. The resistance got it from the Russians. A radio inside a suitcase, Aubrey. Can you imagine? Sound like poppycock to me, and what would I know? If I had one of these, if I'd had one of those, I could have radioed control from Riva San Vital, known straight away that Vercoli wasn't my contact. I'd have never met this girl at all. And how did the soldiers know about your memory? How did the Fraulein come to hear about you? You remember all of it? The entire blueprint? She nodded. Every valve, every wire, I remember. Remarkable. The tunnel filled with a roar. We pressed ourselves against the stone wall as a train thundered past. The echoes battered us in waves. Thank heavens the train was electric. If it had been a steamer, we might have been poached. Not much further, Louisa said. I'm not going to let anything happen to you, Louisa. She scoffed gently at my chivalry. What would you call all this, then? A stroll in the hills? We walked on, now with a coin of sunlight ahead, drawing us along towards the end of the tunnel. I want to look at my book. Let me look at my book. Ooh, look at all these! Ditched, agent got double-crossed. Oh, it's my little stamp. These are my, like, achievements. I love it. Ooh, this is so fun! Okay, I'll just move to the next area, I guess. So far, it's been a very cautious stroll in the hills, yeah. Tunnel came out at Goshanin. Hopefully, we can find Vercoli. We disembarked at Goshanin. As we walked across the platform, a police whistle shrieked behind us, and we heard the thudding of heavy boots. Stop right there, shouted an officious voice. Test of nerves. Yes! I laid a hand on Louise's arm and told her not to move. A stumble-jawed man dashed past us, clutching a handbag, with a police officer in hot pursuit. False alarm, Aubrey. They hadn't caught up to us yet. Yes! I think that's the end of Act 2, I guess. Now we're on to Act 3. Grazie cielo, Vercoli exclaimed, rising to clasp his daughter's hands and kiss her on both cheeks before nodding to me. I am very glad you made it. You've caught the sun, Louisa remarked to her father. I thought the train went through a tunnel. 6 or 7 minutes only. Since then I have had a gelato, a coffee, and a little siesta outside this charming cafe. Why did we walk through the tunnel? I mean, I got to learn what she saw. That was pretty cool. But, like, this guy just got on a train. I guess it's, like, less people saw me, I guess. That's good. No place for a touching reunion. No, let's not celebrate. We should get out of sight. The chase! Ah! The mood fell south pretty quickly as I hustled them away, but honestly, sitting in broad daylight right by the only rail line in town, it was as if he wanted the Germans to catch him. He's not very smart. Ding! We took lunch in a hotel perched at the base of one mountain with a view across the valley to the next. We tore through our starters and soup. Louisa wiped both of her hands on a napkin, then thrust one of them in my general direction. We still have not been properly introduced. My name is Luisa Maria Alessandra Vercoli. Very proud of how I said that. A pleasure. Smith. Smith, she repeated, that's all? What's your first name? Just call me Smith, all my friends do. I'd rather call you James, like James Mason. He's my favorite actor. He's how I think Englishmen should be. Please excuse my daughter, Vercoli put in. She forgets her manners sometimes. I find manners to be overrated. I'd noticed, and it's most refreshing. These times call for plain speaking, a bit of honesty. I've noticed, it's most refreshing. Assigned James by Italian. I do believe Louisa would have stuck her tongue out at me if her father had not been watching. She skewered a melon ball, then chomped it down like a noisy child. You speak excellent English, Louisa. Tell me, Louisa, if you weren't escaping for your life, what would you be doing now? This doesn't seem like a conversation to have at breakfast. In like a broad room. Let's ask this then. If you're not escaping for your life, what would you be doing now? Studying, she answered. My daughter is training to be an engineer, Vercoli began. They do not usually accept women, but they have made an exception for my Louisa, on account of her special gifts. He beamed with a father's pride. My Louisa's memory is exceptional. How do you say in English? Exceptional. Coffee came with slabs of chocolate, from a famous chocolatier in the Swiss town of Schweiss, allegedly. Vercoli broke his in half and put the other half on his daughter's plate. I stirred my coffee and gazed out at the view. He just said exception, but just had trouble with exceptional? Yeah. Like, the French exchange student in, what's the show with the Barbies? I'm, like, totally blanking on it. It's, like, the meanest girl, something like that. Most popular girls in school. Yeah, the French girl in that. Her name was, Marguerite. Something Marguerite. And she was like, how do you say baguette? Like, she would just ask, like, French words. Let's just, this is rude shuffling them along again, very quickly. We'll get you somewhere safe. That doesn't, like, I've already said that. Let's just drink some coffee. I will never have children, Aubrey. I've seen too much of the world to attempt to guide anyone else through it. But all the same, I was touched by Vercoli's affection for his daughter. Control sees the world as a chessboard in black and white, but for me, it's all a play. The hotel bar swilled with millionaires and debutantes. From the window, we had a view over the cars assembling for the Goshenen to Interlaken road race. No one here seemed to have a care in the world. There's a train from Erstfeld in a few hours, I remarked. From there, it's an hour more to Zurich. We're almost there. And will Zurich be safe? Vercoli begged. I do not know if we can return to Italy. As safe as anywhere can be these days. Oh my god. I'm more inclined to believe that Vercoli wants to, like, hear nice things than Louisa. Like, Louisa is a bit more pragmatic. Vercoli is like, oh, please tell me everything's gonna be okay. Good, good, said Vercoli. But Smith, how can I ever repay you for what you have done for us? I do want to know about that radio transmitter. But, like, I want to be a good guy. I'm sure we'll learn plenty more about the radio transmitter as we travel. Look after your daughter. Ah, but she looks after me, he laughed. That is why I need her back, you see. Louisa rolled her eyes, but smiled. Oh, Papa, be quiet. I have never seen a man so delighted to be silenced. Fatherhood is quite the drug, it seems. We need to get some tickets, Louisa declared, rising to her feet. I'll go. Not by yourself. I'll come with you. My bodyguard, she smiled. Very well. She took my arm. I will stay right here, Primo asserted, looking supremely comfortable where he was. I find it kind of funny that we're leaving him here after we, like, left him behind before and we were really scared of it, like, for him. But, you know. I know your plan is to go to Zurich, Louisa began once we were walking, but I've seen a map of this region. I think there are some better options. Is this another one of your secret tunnels? I'll explain once we're aboard the train if you like, or your father will. Trust me, Zurich is the only option. An angry silence. I tried mollifying her a little. Your trick finding us that tunnel in Arola was very helpful, I said, trying to sound encouraging. I don't think I ever thanked you for that at the time, but I'm saying it now, all right? She hurried around in front of me and shoved me in the chest. Why do you insist on talking to me like a child? She demanded. I am 23 years old. You aren't even so much older than me. 23? I had assumed younger, based on precisely this kind of behavior, in fact. Louisa, you're making a scene, I warned her. I have no luck with women in train stations, Aubrey. I'm 31! Louisa shouted at you. You shouted too, in fairness. Passerbys took note. Whoopsie! Bastardo! She threw the insult at me with a wave of her hand. Then just like that, she stormed away. I should have gone after her to apologize, but I didn't. I was damn well going to get the tickets so we could get on the train and get her out of danger. And I had just about reached the station when I heard it. A scream. The roar of a car engine. Fraulein, no! She took Primo! Walked out onto the road knowing it was too late. I'm going! I'm going to find him! People were crouched on either side of something lying on the side of the road. The picture was clear enough at a glance. I raced over to see who it was. Louisa? It's not Louisa. No, Vercoli. There was blood across his face from a cut on his forehead. He was gasping. He was calling out to the lady in the car, a woman said, but she reversed into him. She drove away. She was looking down Southwest Road as she spoke. I pushed the onlookers aside to reach his side. Help him! Wolf, I asked. Find her, he whispered. Find Louisa. I will, I promised. We'll see you in Zurich, Vercoli, as agreed. Vercoli tried to nod, but it was clear he was swimming below the surface. His eyes fell closed. There was no moment to lose. Ah! Oh my god. We have to go! Furka Pass. Was behind the wheel of a racing car in moments. about the train! Damn car wouldn't start, Aubrey. The engine coughed like a geriatric, turned over, and went back to sleep. I had to get it going. The Fraulein was getting further away by the minute. Fuck! Got spotted again. You're spotted as you stole the car outside of Goshinen Hotel. As I fiddled with the wires, the car's owner wandered out of the hotel, intrigued by the hubbub, and caught a glimpse of me. Fortunately, I managed to get the engine roaring just in time and left him choking on dust. Uh-oh. I definitely got like 2 marks that time. Maybe 3. Oh yeah, it was just the shouting and the car. Bystander spotted the suspect at Goshinen, having a tremendous row with his Italian companion. We asked the ticket vendor where he was headed, and luckily she remembered which ticket he bought, the Noose Titans. And I stole a car. The wealthy gentleman came to us in tears to report our suspect had stolen his favorite car. Another stolen car? Can this man be stopped? Luckily, it's a very distinctive vehicle. And a hot-wired Maserati souped up by some harebrained Swiss mechanic under orders from a millionaire idiot. An idiot who didn't deserve a car like this one. I might have died on that road, Aubrey! The transmission worked only half the time. The gears changed with the squeal. For all I knew, the damned caps weren't even screwed in. The car tore through the landscape like a red bullet. It was rather fun. Was a car made by fools for fools, so I drove it like a fool. It was rather fun. They're gonna find me! No! I relaxed into the front wheel steering, leant back, and ran the engine hot. I tore along the mountain road at 100 miles an hour, and God forbid anyone who got in my way. God did not forbid the goat! No! No! The goat! I swerved to avoid it. That was my mistake. If I'd blown straight through it, perhaps the Maserati would have survived. The car flew across the far edge of the road. Oh my god. I clung on grimly wherever the car was going. I was going with it. Oh my god. I'm just gonna hit the brakes. Car screamed but didn't stop. We reached the far edge of the road. A moment later, I was midair. Everything was heat, sparks, and fury. I think the car turned over. I found myself wondering if the goat survived. No! I blacked out. No! This game is so funny. I heard a woman's voice nearby, but my eyes weren't working properly yet. Louisa? Fraulein? Who's there? Wait, that looks like Louisa. Please, be slow. Oh, it's an old lady. The woman replied, moving closer to the bed. A wet towel pressed up my brow. Here, there, it stung. You are hurt, but you will be all right, I think. I passed out again. Withdraw from Poland or face war, Chamberlain warns the Germans. In a speech to the House of Commons last night, Britain's Prime Minister launched a scathing attack on Germany. He warned that if German troops were not withdrawn from Poland, Britain would honor its pledges to Polish ally and initiate military action against Germany. Action. I guess I'm in a hospital. I was in Meiringen, 30 miles from where I'd crashed. I'd been scraped up off the roadside and taken to Hotel Leopold to recover. Meiringen is a tiny town that bustles with the rich and famous. The woman tending me was my rescuer. Miraculously, I had no broken bones. I like that. Cuts, scrapes, bruises, it hurt here and there, just about everywhere. I checked the ranks of my teeth, but there were no deserters. I was warm, Aubrey, content. Eating Zopf with honey on a tray in bed and sipping coffee. I searched my memory for something. I felt I'd overlooked some small yet crucially important detail. And then I remembered Vercoli, Louisa, Fraulein. I had been out of action for at least a day, and I had lost all 3 of them. No! What are we gonna do about it? 10 minutes beyond Meiringen, the road forks into two. One road leads to Zurich in Germany, the other to Bern, and eventually to France. Fraulein was most likely going for the German border. Fraulein would have places to hide in the Alps. It'd be foolish to guess which road they'd taken. I don't know. I need more information. Perhaps an old-fashioned detective work would prevail. Went to talk to the patrons of the hotel bar. Not that I really expected the Fraulein would have stopped in for a drink. Not really her style. I mean, she definitely was drinking before. I'm looking for my wife! No, I'm gonna ask the barman. He shrugged. A lot of people come through here. As for me, I don't remember a German woman, said a robust voice a few stools away. But there was, the man who came through here yesterday. Perhaps he was with her. A Swiss lady, her hiking poles leaning against the bar, drinking a Weiss beer. Oh, really? Another woman! Another woman! Worth noticing. Also, hi, Beach Boy. Let's see. So, man, Let's say worth noticing. You mean he was handsome? No, but there was something off about him. He drank like he had 5 minutes left to live, one in each hand. Did you catch his name? I did not. She drained her glass and clapped it on the table. I hope you find her. The man did not look at all stable to me. It's definitely our guy. Okay, we can interrogate more. Prowled the hotel grounds. Detective work. Tire tracks. Signs of any kind of hasty entrance or exit. That usual sort of thing. Few market traders set up on the roadside selling bread and fresh fruit, cherries in barrels. Found nothing. No scraps of cloth, no earrings, no mouser. Perhaps the Fraulein had not even stopped in Meiringen at all. Concierge grew suspicious of me. He called the police. Naturally, I tried to run. I didn't get far. The police were waiting for me, all truncheons and nasty smiles. 2 of them got me under each arm, and I was dragged like so many potatoes to a nearby beer house. In a dark corner, a cigarette flared. You again, spat the voice of my concealed friend. Must you insist on being the worst spy we have? Let me go. I've got work to do. Not impressed. Yeah, because I'm an idiot, okay? But my men don't have work. That's the problem. If you make it easy for them, then they find you, just like that. Another tap of ash. Maybe I should let my lot do whatever it is they do to spies, and Control can send someone better to finish off whatever it is you think you're doing. He didn't wait for me to reply. Give me something I can use. A long, stagnant pause. I don't have time for this now. They're getting away. There's an Italian girl, Luisa Vercoli. Go on. She knows something. Something about a radio design. The cigarette flared. They were seen heading for Interlaken. You're sure? You're sure? Of course. The cigarette flares. Well, you'd better run along, hadn't you, old man? Don't call me an old man. Rude? Post bus. Let's get on the bus. Let me have a drink while it's going. Complication. The boiling over of tensions in Europe seems to have made even the Swiss twitchy. A harmless little post bus was stopped at a roadblock and searched by a soldier who asked to see my papers. Charisma! Success! I patted my pockets and realized my fake papers had gone missing in the last few days' chaos. I gave him the biggest, brightest smile and told him I was terribly sorry. The soldier grumbled but waved us on through. It's okay. It's totally fine. It's all fine. The road was dreadfully scenic, Aubrey, the sort of route poets would lose their marbles trying to describe. But I won't bother. Wow, okay. I didn't see any of it. The sun set across the mountains in a whiskey-colored blaze, and I didn't drink a drop of it. One question consumed me. Where was the Fraulein taking Louisa? Who was the man with them? Louisa truly had memorized these secret radio transmitter blueprints. Who was the man with them? What kind of man would be mad enough to drive around the Alps with a woman like the Fraulein? Yes, I had, but who else? These were my thoughts as I tapped my fingers and willed the post bus to go faster. I definitely screwed up a lot this chapter. Crashed my car. Found the stolen car, at least what remained of it. Just the burning wreckage at the bottom of a ditch. No sign of the suspect, though. Against the odds, he must have somehow escaped with his life. Oh, is it just that? Oh, I guess because, like, the police caught me, but it was just control. Alright. Hotel! I arrived into Interlaken in darkness and checked into the first hotel I found. I was exhausted, still reeling from that crash on Furka Pass. Once in the room, I collapsed on the bed in a heap, barely even kicked off my shoes. My eyes closed, and all I could see was Primo Vercoli's face. This game is very forgiving. I don't know if it's forgiving or if it's just, like, that's the path that you're intended to be on. You know, like, if the story generally has you hit these kind of points. Europe at war, Britain and France declare war on Germany. Honoring their treaty with Poland, France and Great Britain have declared war against Germany. In a speech given today by British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, vowed that Britain and its allies would prevail against a regime characterized by brute force, bad faith, injustice, oppression, and persecution. Go to the market. I ate quickly, then headed over to the town's covered market. If Wolf had come through the Interlaken, she might have stocked up on supplies. After a few false starts, I struck gold at the stall of an old boot seller. A tall blonde woman and a brown-haired girl, you say? Ah, perhaps you mean the nurse. She came through here with her ward yesterday. They were going to Lauterbrunnen, just south of here. What's in Lauterbrunnen? Bracing mountain air. The doctor seemed to think it would help with the girl's, you know, mental condition. Ooh. Oh, I see what's happening. What did they buy? An Austrian doctor? I thought he was German, but he might have been Austrian. That dog Schweiger was helping them. Was he an agent like Fraulein Wolf, or had she twisted him around her little finger? Just as she twisted me. I thought he might come back. The Austrian doctor who said I had a bad relationship with my dad. Continued south on foot, I suppose. I don't think that there's anything else to do here. So, yeah, we'll walk. Wow, an uneventful trip, apparently. Lauterbrunnen. Lauterbrunnen was buried in a deep valley. Its streets boomed with endless cries of the waterfalls plunging down the mountains on either side. At the very bottom of this place is a tavern with a dark corner, and in this corner were the drooping mustaches of Herr Dr. Schweiger, a broken man. Couldn't help but admire the Fraulein's handiwork. To gut such a man, with a nice car and excellent profession, so efficiently, so ruthlessly. There are Japanese chefs, Aubrey, who can debone a mackerel with a few deft flicks of a knife. It's a shame they don't allow women to do it, otherwise she might have found her true calling. I sat down opposite of him. He looked up sharply. A flash of hope died on his face as soon as it appeared. Oh, it's you. If you've hurt Louisa, you will be sorry. So we meet again. Left you, has she? She's coming back, he answered quickly. I know she is. Tell me where she went or I'll break you in half. She's abandoned you and taken Louisa with her? Herr Schweiger nodded. She just disappeared, he replied, like a lost child. I went to the bar to get her a gin and tonic. That's all I did. And when I came back... You honestly tried to buy Fraulein Wolf a gin and tonic? When you came back, she was gone. He nodded. He had it bad, Aubrey. Whatever Wolf had done to him in the last 48 hours, she had done it exceptionally well. Oh, excuse me? And what about you, he asked, seeming to actually see me for the first time. You hurt your head? Crashed my car driving over the Furka Pass. I all but blushed. I swerved to avoid a goat. A goat? He gawped at me. You're lucky you weren't killed, you fool, and that wound on your head. You should get it properly looked at. You might have a concussion. You can still redeem yourself. Help me find Louisa. I don't care about Louisa, but if you know where Emmanuel is, I'll come with you. Emmanuel? Honestly, Aubrey, what a chump. My god, he's just here to simp! And now we have her name. But, like, he's just here to simp. Like, I cannot believe. I just also didn't want him to know where I was going. I didn't want him to know that I was looking for them. I guess we move. Oh. Right. I can't click on this again and talk more. Okay. Then we move. Jungfrau Jock. I don't know how to say that. We sat facing each other on either side of the train car. Schweiger looked ill, sweating despite the icy mountain air. He caught my eyes on him. I see you judging me, he growled. But I love her, I tell you. Call me a fool if you like, but I do. At least he had some spirit left in him. But surely you know she's a Nazi. He's Austrian? I don't know if that... I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll just say that. The Fraulein is evil. However sour it turned, perhaps it would prove useful. I'll say that. Yes, but what of it? The Nazis are reuniting German peoples. We Austrians are proud to be part of the German Reich. Is it a crime to be a patriot? Yeah, yeah, this is the answer I didn't want to hear from him. Schweiger, as a doctor, you must see how wrong her ideas are. Yes, when patriotism leads to tyranny and murder. I saw then that Schweiger had been lost years before the Fraulein met him. A rejection, perhaps. Some minor defeat. A lost fencing match. Perhaps something had planted hate in him like a scratch inside his belly, and it had festered for over years. You British don't understand what it was like for us at the end of the Great War. You tore our empire apart. Do we not have a right to rebuild? He was nodding like a boy proudly telling his father what he'd learned in school that day. Damn it, man, can't you see the Nazis are leading Europe into another war? And when the Nazis come for you, for your family? Damn it, man, must you blindly accept everything your government tells you? I want to say this one or this one. For your family? I do not have a family yet, Smith, he replied, put his hand to his chest. When I have children, I will raise them to be proud Germans. I will teach them to be loyal to the Fuhrer. I shouldn't have bothered arguing, Aubrey. Their way of thinking cannot be defeated by reasoned argument. It speaks only to the language of violence and power. Nazism is a vicious cancer. Our only course is to sharpen our knives and cut it out before it spreads. Oh, yeah! The writing in this is so, like, sexy at times.
Hello there.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Time for you to sleep, but this is a good game. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Also, it's snowing. Wow. This is an observatory? Ooh. Ooh, okay. Oh, hello, Andros. Welcome on in. Oh, I see that little Pan Pride thing. Nice. I am Pan myself. I'm sure you can see in my tags. I'm having a lot of fun flirting with women in this. Rode the elevator up to the peak of the mountain in silence. At the top, I threw open the cage door and stepped out onto a narrow gantry. I tell you, Aubrey, it was the roof of the world. Never had a problem with heights, but this was perhaps my limit. Lethal drops on either side. Only ropes for guardrails. I turned to look at the brick building behind me. It was topped with a telescope dome, some kind of observatory. There was no way the Fraulein could have doubled back, nowhere for her to hide. And Schweiger was pointing a gun at me, the Fraulein's little mouser. She gave me this. She said if I saw you again, I should shoot you. Keeping my hands up, I tried talking sense into the man. She's using you, Schweiger. Surely you see that? Let's talk about this, shall we? I don't know. I don't think he can be reasoned with. Just here to help Louisa, that's all. Schweiger's hand wobbled badly. The Italian girl. But the Fraulein said... The Fraulein told me... Perhaps he couldn't even remember what the Fraulein had told him. You don't want to kill anyone, Schweiger. That's not who you are. He's a Nazi. I don't know. Let's find Fraulein Wolf and talk about it. Don't waste my time, Schweiger. We know you're not going to shoot. Ooh, this is tense. Let's not do anything foolish. Oh, I got the gun! Keeping one hand over my head, I reached towards him and reached out my other hand. Give me the gun. There's a good chap. But she told me. Don't you see? She told me all about you. The gun wavered, badly this time. He then threw it to the floor as if it were hot. I snatched it up and put it in my pocket. Good. I took a deep breath. Let's go inside. It's bloody freezing out there. I headed for the door. I have a gun! I was thinking I was gonna have to push him off the edge. Entering the observatory was like stepping into the guts of a gigantic metal beast. Cables and pipes snaked from floor to ceiling. Workbenches were laid out with brass spheres, meshed boxes, and mechanical contraptions spinning discs. Charts and star maps plastered the walls. Gauges ticked, needles scratched out graphs on rolls of paper. All very interesting, I'm sure. It was clear this place was working hard, but whether it was measuring out outer space or German troop deployments, I couldn't have told you. There was no one here. Schweiger tore through the room in a fury. I thought he might start pulling machines from the walls to see if the Fraulein was hiding behind any of them. You said she would be here, he yelled. She has to be here. Did I say that? There's a room above. Try up there. At the far end, a door led onto a narrow balcony. Storage locker leant against one wall. There was a trap in the floor. I'll look there. Padlock shut. I cast about for a key, but didn't see one. Can't you shoot the lock off? Schweiger demanded. I could, but I don't think your Fraulein could have locked the padlock behind her. Try the room above. Schweiger dashed up the stairs. With him out of the way, I could look around properly. Storage locker. Pulled it open, but there was nobody stashed inside. Just some old skis, gloves, and boots. Okay, I guess we're going to the balcony. Balcony was making me nervous because we're up really high. I opened the glass door, stepped outside, and caught my balance quickly. I was standing at the head of a great long table. Mountains with misty heads of hair were seated on either side. The Altes glacier was our tablecloth, sheer white and freshly pressed. 2 black ants were crawling slowly across it. One in front, the other behind. They were heading towards a small dark notch at the base of one of the mountains. They reached it and disappeared. The meaning of what I had seen was quite clear to me. Forgive the poetry, Aubrey, but it was really big. I blinked, unsure if my vision was blurred by the brilliance of the ice. I know what that means. I'm gonna say that I know. I locked the position of that black notch in my mind as best as I could. I went back inside. What else could I do, Aubrey? Schweiger was distracted. There was no time to lose. I strapped on the skis and launched myself over the balcony. A moment later, I was tucking down the slope below. I was honestly looking forward to pushing Schweiger off the thing, but you know, maybe later. Snow was firm, not fresh, and I soon picked up a set of ski tracks to follow. There were sledge tracks weaving in and out around them. Then up ahead, I caught sight of the entrance of a military. I've been doing a lot of speaking. Let me take a moment here to just take a sip. Okay. Then up ahead, I caught sight of the entrance of a military bunker, carved into the base of a mountain. Some kind of storage facility, perhaps. Part of Switzerland's vast network of alpine defenses. Didn't seem to be any way to approach the bunker head-on.
Got loud bones.
Oh, you want me to stretch?
Let's hear them.
Oh, damn, girl, you got loud bones. All right, ready? That's not so bad. That's just my hands. Oh, my bones. Oh, they're not going today. Oh. Yeah. Okay. There's my bones. Ooh. I needed that stretch though. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys could hear that over the mic with my current mic settings, but oof. Not quite too loud today. I'll do better next time. Didn't seem to be any way to approach the bunker except head on. Fraulein was keeping Louisa alive, it seemed, for how much longer? I'm just gonna do that. You better. Oh my goodness. If there were guards watching, I would have to do some pretty sharp skiing to stay alive, especially if they had a mounted gun. There's a goat! There's a goat on the thing! There's a little goat on there! I approached the heavy steel door of the bunker. The off-white paint, much of it peeled and chipped, appeared yellow against the snow. What were German agents doing in a Swiss military bunker? Couldn't see any way to open the door. Stashed the skis out of sight and hunkered down, covering myself in the snow. Let's just ask. Bunker appeared old, abandoned perhaps, quietly occupied, then to serve as covert German base. Couldn't see any way to open the door. There's only one thing I could do. Paced over to the door, and I knocked on it. Oh my gosh. Have to go as quick as you can because it's 7:30? Oh my goodness. Enjoy the rest of your day? Usually I'm telling people to have a good sleep, but yeah, I hope you have a good day. Goodbye. Thanks for hanging out. It's always nice to meet new people. Alright. What's this lady? What's gonna happen? I'm locked on the door. Oh, it's open. I knew you'd come, she smiled, although I had been hoping you would rescue me, not get captured yourself. I haven't really described Louisa to you, I think, Aubrey. Despite her tone, I could see she was tired and scared. I ignored her baiting. As tall as me, although she holds herself as if she wishes she was shorter. She has ringed black hair and deep-set brown eyes beneath slanting brows. When she speaks, she waves her hands about like her father. Watching her talk with wrists tied to a chair is like watching a normal person trying to talk while wearing a gag. But my wrists were tied to a chair as well, so there wasn't much I could do to help. got captured, I guess, in between. Haha. He did describe her before. Yeah, but he just said she wasn't beautiful. He didn't really, like, describe her actually. Getting captured is the only way to get inside. Yeah, I was either gonna get captured or get frostbite, so... Control will want a full map of the place, I should think. I wondered if you have some idea of the layout of this place. You want me to find a way out? Isn't that your job? Nothing at all in that vice-like memory of yours that might help? Yes, but I thought I'd give you a turn at it. She groaned, and I could see her hands straining the ropes trying to offer me a dismissive wave. Louisa and I were tied up side by side to wooden chairs. They looked like they'd come from a prep school's exam hall. We were deep inside the bunker, in an office of some kind, and the bunker was large, dug into the underbelly of the mountain. Perhaps it was due to become larger. I'd seen dynamite stacked near the outer door. Has the Fraulein been interrogating you? What have they asked you? Don't worry, I'll get us out of here. Louisa nodded. She's pretending to be my friend now, she remarked, rolling her eyes, as if she thinks that I've forgotten about her driving a car over my father. Her head came up sharply. But Papa was hurt, but he's getting better. I don't want to lie to her. Oh, she said glumly. Well, Papa would have wanted you to come after me, I suppose. Our conversation was cut short. The door opened, and there was the Fraulein, that little mouser in her hand. Hard to believe she was the same woman I'd met on the train from Milan. Wolf, we meet again. Was she alone? I wondered. I think so. Let's be cheeky. She sighed. She looked tired. Girl, what has happened to you? Oh my god. She looked tired, shadows under her eyes, pale skin. She even seemed a little out of breath. Oh. Do you need to sit down, Fraulein? You can have my seat. Fraulein Wolf is losing interest in you. Yeah, I thought so. Like... Tell me, Mr. Smith, do you play chess? Oh, wait, sorry. She didn't laugh, only scowled. This Fraulein was far less fun than the old one, Aubrey. Tell me, Mr. Smith, do you play chess? Of course, and I'm very good at it, too. That's a game with a ball, isn't it? How droll. I suppose you're one of those card players, she replied with contempt. From a locker at the back of the office, she produced an old board and a set of heavy metal pieces. She pulled over a chair and set it down to use as a table. You and I will play. If I win, I will shoot the girl. If you win, then we will play again. She set her gun down and began laying out the chess pieces. Or she can give me the information I require. Didn't you hear me? I don't play chess. You'll never let us go, with or without Louisa's information. Well, afraid I'll win. That's why the stakes are so one-sided. I don't play chess. Duh. Didn't you... Then you will lose, and I will shoot the girl. Was I not perfectly clear? Pawn stepped out onto the board with a slight magnetic click, like the sound of a safety catch being removed. White King's pawn to the center. Your move, Herr Smith. It's the horse to, you know, out in front. The goat one. Move that. Fraulein hooted with laughter. Smith, Louisa quivered, suddenly afraid. Please tell me you know what the pieces are called. Please don't be too hard on him, the Fraulein said, pulling my pawn forward. He can't even see the board properly from that chair. King's bishop to the knight's file, Smith. Louisa strained at the ropes that held her wrist. She couldn't see the board either. Knock over the king. I'm done. At least let Louisa see the board. Why? There's nothing to see yet. Now play. Bishop, do something useful with it. I don't know how to play chess. I don't know how to play chess. This is very scary. I don't know. This was not part of the game. that I was expecting. Move the horsey. That's a good move. Well, considering the alternatives. Fraulein moved my piece, then quickly responded, advancing another of her pawns. There was no way I was going to win the game, Aubrey. I was playing in the dark. You must be wondering how he acquired this bunker, Wolf remarked casually, leaning back in her chair while she awaited my move. From the redoubtable Swiss army, no less. They built these places to defend themselves, against us. If you're hoping Louisa will talk, she'll need to see how badly I'm doing. Fraulein considered this. All right, you can watch your champion fail. Pulling a knife from her belt, Wolf slit the ropes around Louisa's wrist. Then she leant down, hovering the knife point in Louisa's face. But no talking. Louisa gave a tiny nod. Wolf returned to her chair. Still your move, Smith. Jump the knight on the left there. This bishop, I guess. I would use this one. Rubbing her wrists, Louisa approached the board. Her face quickly became a picture of horror. I know, the Fraulein enthused. He's completely useless, isn't he? Her knight leapt out into the middle of the board. Louisa clicked her tongue, but then, almost too quickly to notice, she held up her little finger, wiggled it, and looked sharply away. A moment later, she did it again. I'm gonna guess the little finger means pawn. So let's move a pawn. I haven't moved, like, any of my pawns, so... Ah, fuck. Let's use this one, shall we? Louisa was flashing me a sudden, unexpected smile. The Fraulein thought for a moment. She advanced another pawn. Louisa frowned. It was too generous of the Swiss, this gift of theirs, don't you think? Wolf remarked. They left it undefended, but it's well built, excellently positioned. Your left flank is exposed, by the way. You're underestimating the Swiss, you know. I have no interest in playing chess. Do you think? She wasn't convinced. You might be wondering what good a base in the Alps is. Wolf rolled a captured piece between her fingers. You see, it's a good place for a back door. She pointed down significantly. She stifled a yawn. Your move. Let's move another pawn. Fraulein played the move for me. Louisa nodded slightly. It must have been a good move. Fraulein paused, then chose a move. Her bishop took mine. Superior tactics will always win the day. Rook? She played the move. Louisa shook her head furiously, but it was too late to take it back. The Fraulein fell silent. White's back line was clear enough to the castle. Wolf brought her rook into play. I could see Louisa was thinking quickly. Then she held up two fingers, crossed. I'm gonna guess it's crossed in a religious way, so move the bishop. Move the bishop, I think? The Fraulein played the move for me. Very gently, Louisa nodded. Wolf was intent on the board now. Her knight took mine. You will find you cannot win against an overwhelming force. Rook takes knight? She played the move. Wolf was concentrating hard. She developed another pawn. Louisa nodded with satisfaction. She wiggled her finger again. Well, which finger? Oh, I guess the little finger? Wolf was intent on the board now, and she had taken her eyes off of Louisa entirely. Carefully, silently, the Italian woman had lifted the little mouser from where the Fraulein had put it down. Fraulein nodded firmly. Her bishop retreated. We're going to blow a tunnel, Smith. Isn't that marvelous? A tunnel all the way to Zurich, and then we'll pour down into Switzerland by tens of thousands. We'll capture the castle, so to speak. Remarkable. Just like that punch sound. It's just a little bit of a... Get her ass. We've been shipping dynamite here for nearly 10 years, you know. Some quietly stolen from the work they did building that charming railway through Jungfraujoch. Other places, too. Eyes screwed shut, Louisa swung as hard as she could. It was glorious. The Mauser butt connected with Wolf's skull with a sickening crack. The Fraulein was knocked sprawling across the board, the chair upended. Pieces scattered in all directions. "That's for Papa," Louisa hissed. Black Queen takes White Queen! Oh, get pranked! Time for the Black Knight to get moving, I think. Frisking the prone Fraulein, Louisa located her knife and sliced me loose. Gone was the distracted girl I'd rescued in Bellinzona. She was rescuing me now. A moment later, we were out the door. I took the White Queen with me as we ran. For old time's sake, Aubrey. That was fun. I liked that. It wasn't hard to scuttle quietly past the guards without being spotted. The Germans seemed to run the place with the skeleton staff. We reached the front chamber of the bunker. On the wall beside the outer door was a large metal lever labeled Achtung. 500 feet soon, I said, looking back down the corridor. Started for the ooh, okay. Achtung. What does that mean? Lux, what does that mean? I'm forgetting. I know the word, I just don't know what it means. Like, I've heard it before and things. Danger? Should I get the dynamite, or should I... Just throw it. Door began to rise, accompanied by an ear-splitting grinding of gears that echoed around the walls. "They'll hear that," Louisa shouted. She was ready to crawl under the half-open gate. "Let's go!" I needed something to even the odds. Outrunning armed guards on ice seemed impossible. Cast about the room and found a rack of rust bucket machines lined up in a corner under the tarpaulin. Louisa caught my blank expression. "Snowmobiles," she exclaimed. "My uncle repairs them in his shop. Quick!" I jumped aboard. Louisa clambered on behind. Do they even still work? Do you know how to drive one? Do you know how to drive? Yes, she jumped into the front seat. "Get on." I grasped her waist as she started the engine, and we lurched forward onto the ice. I felt her hand reach backwards into my coat pocket. She was giving me the Mauser. "You keep that." We roared away from the bunker at a decent 8 miles an hour. Oh, and one other thing, Aubrey. Tell Control there was just enough dynamite by the gate, and just enough time to leave the Fraulein a little parting gift. Boom! Oh my god! How cheeky. Oh. Meow. The sun was high in the sky. It seared down through ice-clear air, turning the glacier into a blinding lake of light. And we were chuffing along in a machine made out of biscuit tins and rubber piping. For a while we wove a path avoiding shrapnel and rock shards from the explosion. I clung onto Louisa and enjoyed the ride. She was steering intently to avoid the shrapnel from the explosion. The machine we were riding was a little better than a groundsman's lower. I can't simp. I can't simp for this girl. She sees right through me. One strike would have been enough to finish us. The snowmobile would have flipped through the air like a roller coaster car. Then we were through and out onto the open ice. My eyes were on the mountains ahead, looking for paths and passes. "Having fun?" I shouted. "How much further?" I shouted, thinking of Louisa's terrific memory for maps. "Half an hour. The valley turns a corner and then the glacier ends." Then I felt Louisa stiffen. "There's someone coming after us." Someone... She must have seen them through the mirror attached to the snow shield. I twisted in my seat to look. On a snowmobile, I asked. If they were driving, they'd be no faster than us. Skis. This is reminding me of the Grand Budapest Hotel. Sipping for her is better than sipping for the Nazi lady. Well, okay, to be fair, in the beginning, I wasn't sure, like, maybe she was a double agent or something, but, like, she was definitely a Nazi, and, like, I blew her up. So, what's the, you know... We were running out of glacier. Louisa swerved to a halt on the southern edge of the valley. We clambered, bandy-legged, from the machine. A mountain towered above us. That's the Eggishorn? Louisa said. Or Eggishorn? I would say probably Eggishorn. Like Matterhorn. Louisa said. There's a cable car stopped just behind the peak. They installed the lines last year, apparently. We can ride it down into the valley on the other side. I didn't need to ask how she knew. Cable car is a fairly visible way to travel. We'd be exposed. What's on the other side? Place called Feisch, she replied without needing to think about it. I don't know anything about it, but there's a train station there. I cast a look back at the swooping dark figure behind. It was closing on us fast. Okay. I guess we go. No, I don't want to hike. I'll take the cable car. I'm more than happy to take the cable car. I love cable cars. I will do what the lady wants. The climb up Eggishorn was much harder than I anticipated. Perhaps it was our general fatigue. I was still recovering from my crash. Louisa was exhausted from 2 days of stress and panic. Neither of us were dressed for cold or for the climb. But our fear of the approaching figure on the glacier kept us going. I looked back. I have a gun. I was just, yeah. It was growing larger. It would not slow or stop. If we rested, it would be sure to overwhelm us. An explosion behind us made me turn. In the pillar of the valley below, our snowmobile had gone up in a pillar of smoke and fire. She's sending us a message. No turning back now. Let's just keep going, I told her. She's trying to scare us. But then she needn't have bothered. I'm already scared, Louisa said. I could see that Wolf was struggling, but she was determined. Maybe she was thinking the same about us. The slope was turning to lose rock and shale. We had to scramble our way up, almost on all fours. I hope you're right about that cable car. I don't need to fire anything. I'm fine. I hope you're right about that cable car. I am right, Louisa replied in between breaths. Up and up, Aubrey, up and up. Oh, that was kind of mean to say. I should know that she does. She knows everything. She's got a special memory. Okie dokie. Taking the cable car. Peak of Eggishorn was almost a needle point. The cable car station was built a little way down the southern slope. Fraulein's pace hadn't slowed. I pushed Louisa down the slope and slid after her. The worst of it is over. I looked down at her from the top of the mountain. She was already halfway up. We scrambled quickly down the shale and scree and then fell through some bushes and emerged beside the station. A cable car was just leaving the station turnabout on its way down. There was no time for hesitation. Louisa leapt inside, landing on all fours. I caught hold of the rails either side of the door just as the car lifted away from the platform. Then I pulled myself up and slammed the door behind me, heaving a sigh of relief. Louisa was still gasping on the floor of the car. We made it, she said between breaths. I can't believe we made it. Do you think she saw us? Maybe not, but she'll know we're here. There's nowhere else we could have gone. I don't know, but let's keep our heads down anyway. Oh my goodness, hi, welcome Raiders. How's everybody doing? Are you having a wonderful night? I hope you are. If you don't know me, I'm Beezy. I'm a Jersey Devil, and right now I'm playing a game for Noirvember, playing a bunch of murder mysteries. And this game is called Over the Alps. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of just a choose your own adventure, but the writing is really good. Oh, it's fun. I really recommend it. Wonderful. Yeah. And also, it's a pretty exciting stream today because I updated my mod a little bit with some new physics, some bouncy hair, and I got some new emotes because Twitch added new emotes for everybody. It's awesome. Hi, Otter. Hi. Have some Christ cranberries on the house? Yeah. There you go. Drink up. I bet you're all thirsty from your long stream. How's your night, though? Did you guys play a good game? Are you drawing? What you doing? Taking this moment to have a sip of water. Playing Gunfire. Ooh, I've never heard of that game. But then again, I don't know a ton of gun-related games. Unless it's something kind of different. Yeah. Furry Borderlands? Oh my god. I do want to check that out then. I like Borderlands a lot. I don't know, is that cringe of me to say that I like Borderlands a lot? I feel like it's kind of like fallen out of style, but oh, I really enjoyed playing those games a lot with my friends, and we would like really try our best to glitch out those games. And I also just love Tales from the Borderlands. That's probably my favorite like Borderlands game that's been out. It's got a new character, so Cubby was playing him. It's on sale right now. Ooh, yeah, I love Borderlands. I remember when I played Borderlands with my friends, I had one friend who found out that if you give the commando all of your guns and then he just like drops them all, you can pick a perk that makes it so you get faster when you drop guns. And so we would give him all of them, he would drop all of them, and then he would just like run off the map. He would just like fling himself, like speedrun strats. It was very silly. We would also do these things where we would be in arenas and I would run around in circles like a rabbit at like a dog racing thing, and while my friends would snipe the enemies from above. It was crazy. I should play Borderlands again. Tales from the Borderlands is the best Borderlands games. I am so glad that you said that. I don't know what anybody's like general opinion is on so many things in that franchise, but Tales from the Borderlands rocks. I love it. I was like so obsessed with it when it came out. That like final chapter, it's just insane. I love it. So good. Anyways, I should get back to the game. I'm happy to hear that you really enjoyed your game though. I'll definitely be checking it out after stream. And then yeah, thank you for the raid. Alright. I don't know. Let's keep our heads down anyways. Louisa clambered onto the bench at the back of the car and peered out of the glass. I don't see her, but she can't be far. There's no way to speed it up. If we get stuck up here, we might have to jump. Oh, don't say that. Maybe she's dropped dead from exhaustion. Yeah, okay, to explain what's going on here. I'm a British spy in Switzerland at like the beginning of World War II. I'm traveling right now with this Italian woman who has a photographic memory and has memorized some blueprints from like Italians, I think. The Italians are looking for her and the Germans are looking for her because she memorized the blueprints for a radio transmitter that can fit in a suitcase. And so, because there's a big war happening, everybody wants to know about that. We're running away from a Nazi lady who I flirted a lot with in the beginning and then realized she's a Nazi and then I just blew her up. But she's still alive apparently and trying to kill me. And yeah, I think that's mostly I think it's mostly everything that's important to know. That about covers it. And then there's some useless men. Not useless, but like her dad is very bumbling and Then there was the Nazi scientist, who I just also kind of bamboozled away from. Gonna pass out. Have a wonderful, wonderful sleep. I hope all your dreams come true. Let's see. I know, Louisa replied irritably. Look, Smith, she's reached the station. Fraulein could have had us at that moment, Aubrey. If she hadn't been blinded by hatred, she might have realized she could have stopped the cable car winch or thrown a switch to reverse its direction. That sort of thing, the sort of thing Louisa would have thought of, which, with her engineering mind. But the Fraulein didn't do either of those things. Instead, she got into the car behind us. Louisa began to laugh. I couldn't help but laugh too. I tried to imagine a chase scene like this one in a moving picture and failed. It had put the audience to sleep. I had a nice vision of taking this girl to the cinema, Aubrey, and staying very awake. Oh. Also, everybody wants to get Louisa because she remembers blueprints to the... Yeah. She's a photographic memory of the radio, and they want to know what it is. So they're trying to keep her alive, but also, like, interrogate her. Putting her through a little bit of hell. Okay. Oh, do I still have to... Oh, I guess I still have to, like... What do you want me to do? Oh, there we go. Our car was 3 minutes in front of the Fraulein's. Both were 40 feet up in the air. There was nothing to do but wait. We swung, slowly and stately. 15 minutes later, we reached the Eggishorn interchange station and jumped from the car. We raced for the second station and the next car. Then we set about sabotaging her approach. I like that. We need something to jam the wheel, Louisa shouted, and quickly. The whole place was automated. The wheel was spoked and turned with a snug, well-oiled metal channel. I reached for the spokes and hauled with all my might. The machine lifted me easily off the ground and spun me against the wall. I let go quickly before my hands were crushed. Oh, dang. If Schweiger had been here, I would have jammed the thing with his head. I can't shoot him anymore. Try the chest piece? Thick, tapering cylinder of metal. I thrust it into the narrow chamber. The wheel sucked it in and then began grinding down on top of it. The machinery sparked and groaned. And then beautifully, it stuck. The Fraulein's car swung to a halt. Should do this to all Nazis, Aubrey. Hang them on cables in midair. I shared this thought with Louisa. A bit dark, perhaps, but she didn't blink. Ah, yes, very fitting, she said. They'd be true Ubermensch then, hanging over us in the sky like that. Shame we can't send her even higher, I mused. Shoot all the Nazis off into space! It was hard not to enjoy the Fraulein's predicament. I'm gonna keep going. They'd only set up camp on Mars, Louisa replied. Kick off the Martians and claim it as rightfully theirs for Lebensraum. Yes, I think they probably would, I said, laughing. God forbid if Yuzu ever sees this. I'm, like, butchering every single, like, place name and stuff like that in here that I don't, like, immediately recognize. Chess pieces were metal, which is why her pawn stuck to the chessboard. Oh, that's right. I just thought it was, like, too specific of a thing to not try. You know? Let's go! Second cable car gently swayed us down the mountainside. It was like being in a floating cradle. How are you holding up? I asked. Louisa shrugged. Well enough, I suppose. I haven't stopped to find out. She looked like she was limping. After hiking up that mountain? I should think so. Suddenly, Louisa yelped and pressed her face to the glass. Je de Paul, what is that? I looked down, splashes of color, a chessboard in rainbow hue. Blues, reds, greens, whites. It was as though someone had spread out a woolen quilt over the valley floor. That wasn't on the map you saw? I joined her at the window, peering to make out the details. But we were still too high up. Whatever the shapes were, they were people milling around them, working by the look of them. I'll leave it here for now, Aubrey, to give you a chance to solve this puzzle. Can you guess the delightful surprise that was waiting for us at the bottom of the cable line? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know. Oh my god, balloons! We get a hot air balloon! This game rules. I want to escape in a hot air balloon. Balloons. Hot air balloons, to be precise. We had somehow stumbled into the middle of the Feisch Festival of hot air balloonery. There wasn't a moment to lose. How do you feel about heights? Seems like rather too good an opportunity to waste, don't you think? Let's go, Louisa cried. We raced down the track from the cable car station, then hopped a fence into a field where the first of the balloons was laid out. The burner was on and the balloon was starting to fill. We approached its owner. He was sitting on the grass beside the basket, smoking a pipe. No time for a discussion with the man. I pulled out the gun. I don't want to pull a gun on him. I don't think that's necessary. 100 francs for the balloon. Man sucked his pipe. You English tourists, he said, shaking his head. You think you can turn up at the festival without a balloon and just buy one of ours? We're escaping from Nazis. Nazis? The man jumped to his feet. I despise Nazis! He was a good salt-haired Gaspar. He helped us both into the basket of his balloon without further ado. I glanced back up at the mountainside. Perhaps the Fraulein was still stuck in midair, higher up. If not, she would be on her way down. She would have no qualms about putting a bullet in our heads, or one in the balloon. And the balloon was still inflating. Took a moment to shake the balloonist's hand. My name is Smith, this is Louisa. I am very pleased to meet you both. He gave a stiff little bow. I'm Herr Gaspar, and this is my most wondrous balloon. I call her Gertie. I do hope you are not afraid of heights. A hot air balloon, Aubrey, is a magical thing. The ground below just gives up on you. Gravity lets go and the earth drifts away. First an inch, then a yard, then up and up. An indulgent form of transport. A folly of follies. The first fellow who tried this must have been brave. Cable car reached the ground. I saw a limping figure emerge. Bless the Fraulein. She shook her little fist up at us as we left her behind. We're free, Louisa cried out at the sky. We're free! I put my arm around her waist to steady her, Aubrey, in case she leaned too far over the edge of the basket. She even leant back a little against me, just for safety, you understand. We are really free of her now, she breathed, still gazing out at the view. Free. Whee! Over the Alps! Over the Alps! Delightful. So, hello, Felix. This game is so delightful. I'm really having, like, a hell of a time with this game, which is, like, really kind of just a choose-your-own-adventure book. Blue-green with white peaks, the Alps spread like a frozen sea below us. The Aletsch Glacier was a long stripe dotted with detritus from the bunker explosion. Louisa pointed out the observatory, winking like a jewel. Then the long curved valley of Ambri. Perhaps even that little chapel above Airolo. That sort of place a chap might get married. I hope Papa is all right. Did you see what happened in Goshenen? He'll be in Zurich already, I'm sure. It was horrible. He flew over the bonnet of a car, said Louisa, quaver in her voice. The Fraulein didn't seem to care, didn't even turn her head, just drove into him, then drove away. Like the aesthetic of this game a lot? Yeah, it's definitely what caught my eye first when I, like, saw it on Steam. She struck the rim of the basket with the palm of her hand. Vaca fascista! Fascista! I think that means fascist cow. I don't know a ton of Italian, but like vache is cow in I think French. So I think that's fascist cow. We drifted on, soaring ever higher. It is nice, nice. Oh, I know that because that's where the term vaccine comes from. Because the first vaccines were to for smallpox, and they got it from cowpox. Because all the milkmaids didn't get smallpox because they got cowpox. And so, the more you know. That's why they're called vaccines. You can thank cows. You've checked she's not hanging onto the ballast ropes? I've checked. I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't either. She's not there. I'm going to check myself. Please do not fall over. Cows are great. Earlier in this game, there was a little festival where they dressed all the cows up in little midsummer flowers and stuff like that. It was so cute. Herr Gaspar leant out over the side and spat. He watched the spittle fall, then nodded. A good northeast current. I will take us down. We drifted lower into a current of air that grasped us and whisked us forward, so quickly that Gaspar's mustache began to waffle in the wind. A memory like yours, Louisa, would be invaluable in war. I mean, I could say that. To everyone else, not to me. I do not want dead people's faces in my head. She screwed up her face. Besides, I want to be an engineer. I want to make things that help people, not to hurt them. Could you guarantee me that? She did not wait for an answer, but looked away. The winds carried us on. Lot of good mustaches in this game. The sun was touching the mountains to the west, spreading honey across snow-capped peaks. The view is beautiful, Louisa enthused. It's as good as in a painting. Rather better, I should think. I think it's better. Then something occurred to me. Have you ever seen mountains before? In real life, I mean? She shook her head. I've never been outside of Milan before, although we have many galleries. I let her point out the details to me as we went. A snowy peak here, a distant waterfall there, that sort of thing. I saw it all for the first time again, through her eyes. We floated onwards. Oh, how romantic. Oh! And then Aubrey. The mountains were quite suddenly gone. We were flying over farmland and low country. I will set us down by the Zürichsee, Gaspar said. There's a place I know beside the water. A lake? I like lakes, Louisa said. Okay. Off we go! The balloon settled to the earth on a patch of empty land within spitting distance of the water's edge. It was a low, rocky outcrop jutting out into the lake. A cozy log cabin was built above it on stilts that rose from the reeds. This is my aunt's guest house, Herr Gaspar said. You should stay here. She makes excellent fondue. I thanked him. Louisa kissed him on both cheeks, out of gratitude, but probably also from sheer relief. Your balloon is beautiful, she gushed, and the man glowed with pride. Then we scrambled out of the basket and all but fell onto the grass. The ground feels very strange, Louisa exclaimed. Once you've been a bird, Gaspar observed, pulling out his pipe to light it. Why would you want to be anything else? Perhaps if we were birds, all we would see nations for the fictions they really are. Poetic! From the sky, we'd only see rivers and mountains, not borders and checkpoints. Perhaps one day people will routinely fly about in balloons and aeroplanes, and the divisions between peoples will become a distant memory. I went to find Gaspar's aunt to talk to her about a room. I definitely made this guy out to be a romantic. Ooh! It's beautiful. Oh, the moon! There was a little jetty in front of the cabin. We were sitting together looking out over the lake. Stars filled the sky and flooded the surface of the water. Louisa had her arms hugged around her knees. She told me she would kill me. I said nothing, just sat by her side. She kept trying to scare me. There were things she said she would do to me. She spoke quietly. But what could I tell her? She wouldn't have understood what made the transmitter special anyway. I tried to tell her she had it wrong, that it was all a mistake, but she just kept threatening me and asking me the same questions over and over, like a machine. It's the way they're told to do it. I was remembering what Control had said, Aubrey, if you recall it, that the Aware may be better resourced, but their agents only think in railway lines. They're no match for our corkscrew methods. They are all quite mad, Louisa said, seeming to agree. They believe in fairy tales and master plans, but there are just bodies, a trail of bodies everywhere they go. Her words drifted across the lake and disappeared. I'm cold, Smith. Come here, I'll keep you warm. Oh, she doesn't like me enough. She turned to glare at me with hot, angry eyes. Tell me something, Smith. What do you say, you were a good man? A man of honor? Not really, no. Ooh, I like this. Am I? Am I a man of honor? I'm trying to do an honorable thing. I would say so. So I held her, and she cried. Then when she had finished crying, we sat there and looked up at the stars. Thank you, she whispered. Oh! Oh! As war tipped to be over by Christmas, as British warplanes bombed German naval targets, some experts predict a swift end to German aggression on the continent. It is expected that conflict on the scale of the years-long Great War of 1914 may be avoided through decisive and rapid military action. I don't know about that one. Herr Gaspar's Aunt Helga had a car that once belonged to her husband. She was happy for us to use it. Aunt Helga clasped our hands in turn as we left. Newlyweds, she sniffed, her eyes moist. In such dark and difficult days. She waved a handkerchief as we drove away. It was early morning, still dark. Louisa twisted in her seat to wave back until we were out of sight. I think we fooled her, she concluded. Yes, we were very convincing, I smiled back. Alright. I guess we'll, move on. On our way to Zurich! Road followed the lakeshore into the city. I don't trust this guy driving. This game also vacillates nicely between whimsy and intrigue, and taking the time to dunk on how empty-headed and pathetic Nazis are. It's great! This is the road to Zurich, Louisa remarked. Only a couple of miles. You don't need to tell me that, she grinned. There was a map in the cabin. Aubrey, I shall miss this curious girl and her marvelous mind. Oh. Me too. I like her. I found myself driving slowly. Perhaps I was finally able to enjoy the sights the journey had to offer. I wanted to spend every last second with Louisa that I could. Perhaps I was still on the lookout for a possible attack. I was not relishing addressing from Control, among other things. Louisa! Our work offers us plenty of excitement, plenty of comfort and discomfort, but so little of the wonder and awe that just a few moments of Louisa's company gave me. You must think me a stripling to talk like this, a simp, but I am no ancient oak. But Louisa's journey was at an end. She was eager to reach Zurich, and I could talk of little but seeing her father. I hope he's not too sore. He'll have been well enough to take the train to Zurich, won't he? I hope so. Oh yes, they have good doctors in Switzerland. I hope so. The fact was, we were already there. We were passing through the suburbs of Zurich, built up along the lakefront. The scent of flowers and horse dung was fading away into the fumes of cars and coffee. From the Alps we had emerged back into what some would call civilization, but I don't know what to call it anymore. Europe is at war. I guess we'll look over here first. Checked into the Hotel St. Augustine under the name of Mr. and Mrs. Elling. I liked the feel of signing it, Aubrey. Just married, I enthused to the concierge. We're eloping, so please don't tell anyone we're here. Say no more, sir, he replied. You may count upon our discretion. The porter showed us to our room. I gave him a franc and headed out with a smile. Louisa was already inspecting the contents of the room, from the embroidered lampshades by the bed to the hotel stationery on the desk in the corner. I've never been in a real hotel like this before. No, I can't imagine she had. A restaurateur's daughter. Summer had ended somewhere in the mountains, and the September air blowing in from the lake was cold. After inspecting the curtains, Louisa pushed the window shut. So what do we do now? I'll ask around to see if your father has arrived. I'm going out, but you mustn't leave this room. This is a big city like Milan, she replied uncertainly. I have people. She nodded. I suppose I should stay here then, out of sight. I put my hat back on. I'll be back within the hour, I should think. I paused a moment to look at her through the open door as I left the room. My Mrs. Elling, sprawled on the bed, shoes dangling from her toes, low sunlight streaming in around her. Oh my god, he's so down bad. Me too, though. Moment of perfect beauty. The same feeling I'd had in the hot air balloon. The ground falling away, my heart lifting towards soft clouds. Shut up! Oh my god. I love this game. The hot balloon. Oh, it's the control. Getting myself picked up by local police was simple enough. I'm fairly sure I even recognized one of the men who nabbed me. The beer house was not as empty as the one in Rivera, but still offered a good selection of dank corners. Dank. There you are, Smith, my friend began. Well done, old man. You've done a good job not rousing suspicion while you've been here, he remarked. Need your help with a few matters. This should be the last time. I've got the Italian girl with me. Trickle of ash. Really? Do go on. She's seen the design of a Russian radio set. She's memorized it. Nazis had occupied a disused military bunker in the high Alps. Left a German agent in the Central Alps, but she'll be coming after us. I think that's important to... You're worried for the Italian girl's safety. She's seen the design of a Russian radio set. She's memorized it. Interesting. But we'd prefer the blueprints, documents. They say she has a photographic memory. The cigarette pondered for a moment. Anyway, she's all yours now. No! It's time to ask. You need papers for Louisa to get her into France. You don't, actually. You'll be handing her off to our boys here in Zurich. That's what Control thinks is best. Want her across the border, it'll be safer for her. Will she talk to them, though? It's me she trusts. It's a fair point. Cigarette flared for a final time. All right, then. I heard a chair scrape back. Papers will be delivered with your newspaper tomorrow morning at the hotel. Then you'll get on the afternoon train for Dijon and cross the border at Basel. The cigarette was stubbed out and the room went dark. Enjoy your evening, old man. I would have liked to have told him about the bunker that they had, but I did blow it up. I don't know how useful it is anymore. A little flower shop. On the Legacy, I passed a woman selling flowers from a stall. She had roses, though they looked like a little tired, but also delicate bouquets of snowbells and primroses. You are English, I think, the woman began, speaking in German. There is perhaps something you wish to say to a woman, but do not know how to put into words, yes? Flowers are very beautiful. The woman nodded. Thank you, we pick them, my daughters and I, in the mornings, she said. Then rush down here to sell them to men like yourself. Something hardy, something to last. Not be staying long, give me the cheapest you have. I don't know what she likes. What does she like? Give her black flowers? Or, I don't know, something hardy to last? Purple? Roses? I'm thinking roses or something hardy. I don't like roses myself. I understand that they're like romantic flowers, but like, I don't know. Chat, what do you think? I'm not a flower person. I don't know flower language. Purple? I guess I can also go off of these. Which also kind of, are silly. This is kind of a funny response. This is like a tough guy response. Let's just do roses. One cannot go wrong with roses. Indeed not. She picked 6 or 7 stems and tied them together with a ribbon. I paid the flower seller and continued on to the hotel, still wondering what exactly I was planning to do. I'm giving her... Oh no! The window! I hurried into the elevator feeling as nervous as a schoolboy on recital day. To think soon we would be in France! Assuming, of course, that Louisa would go with me, and that might depend on finding her father first. I pushed the door open to the room. First thing I saw was the curtain flicking in and out of the open window in the breeze. No! Stepped silently into the room. In step 2, my shoes crunched on something, broken glass. Window had been smashed. There was a trace of blood near the frame. Stick my head out in the alley. No! No! I heard the roar of an engine, the squeal of a car cornering too fast. I was out of the hotel and into a car of my own before the echoes had faded. Ah! No, 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 no! Just as I got flowers. Oh, no! Drove north at a breakneck pace. I didn't even realize that there was still, like, there was a thing left. Oh. Louisa! Final chase, no doubt, no doubt. Ooh, how pretty. Quick one, Aubrey. She drove north about an hour. Then she came off the main road after Dachshund. On the slower road, I dropped back. I wanted her to think I'd overshot. She's parked at the Rhine Falls waterfall right on the border. It's a narrow bridge behind the castle. Good as place as any for this. Imagine you rescue her, give her the flowers, they're all beat up, but she likes them anyway. I was thinking about that! Like, they're all, like, crumpled, but, like, I got you these. Can't see her. She must be near the bridge. I'm not sure what she's waiting for. Still persuading Lisa to not scream for help. Or giving her one last chance to talk on neutral ground. This close to the border, there's only one way to stop her. As soon as she appears, I'm charging. If I get a clean shot with the Mouser, I'll take it! Failing that, I'm going in, over the edge, into the water. I'll give this to a passerby. There's a few about, holding picnics at the falls. Ha! Tell C the abwehr is sharper than he thinks they are. Tell Control the abwehr is sharper than he thinks they are. Nice writing to you, Aubrey. Oh my god. My regards to your charming wife. Happy New Year! We wish all our readers a Happy New Year as we eagerly look forward to the end of the war. For many Britons, this New Year's celebrations will be their last chance to enjoy some of their favorite foods, following an announcement of plans to expand rationing to butter, bacon, and sugar. How sad. Wait, what the hell? Why am I not in the other place? Did I go back? Huh? What just happened? Dear Aubrey, your friend told me to write. Oh, I think this is Aubrey's perspective, perhaps. Dear Aubrey. Oh, no, this is Louisa. Dear Aubrey, your friend told me to write to you if anything should happen to him. I found your address inside the lining of his hat, along with stamps and metal cartridges of ink. He kept a whole post office up there. He was, I think, a good man. He told me he was, but I didn't believe him at the time. He was a romantic, your friend. If he weren't a spy, I think he would have liked to be a knight, like in a fairy tale. He could be impatient. I once told him I was too tired to think, and he berated me for it. But that's all right. I berated him quite a lot as well. I think we liked that about one another. I don't know who you are, Aubrey. I assume you were his friend. So was I, in the end. He would want you to raise a glass of something, in memory of him. He died! He liked reds more than whites. He was going to start a vineyard. Did you know that? He'd already bought the land. You deserve to know how he died. He fought until the very last moment. Held that horrid woman under the water, even though it meant staying under there himself. I think he may have loved her somehow, even though he hated what she was. Don't come looking for him, Aubrey. He's gone. I know you'll want to, but I'm asking you not to. I hope you'll understand why. I'm going to go somewhere where I can build a wine press and tend vines, as far away from the war as possible. One day, I'll send you a case. Then you'll know I'm safe. Take care, my friend. Oh! Wow! Wow! What a game! I loved that. I wonder if you always die. I wonder too. I definitely want to play it at least on my own time to find out, because there's definitely got to be different like paths and stuff that you can get, and I would imagine that you could get different endings. Very interesting. Just awesome game. I mean, who knows? Maybe she lied. Maybe he's alive and they just ran off together because they didn't want to be involved in the war. That'd be pretty clever. Can't say that I dislike that ending. Me neither. Awesome game. I really, really liked it. I was not expecting... I didn't have any idea what this game would be in my head when I started playing it. I just thought it looked pretty. And I'm just really impressed. It was a lot of fun. It's a work of fiction. It was like, I hope so. If you're doing a choose your own adventure. This looks like a secret code at the bottom. Or I don't think that's a different language because there's so few vowels. It's probably some kind of code you can crack. I would assume that second to last word is your. I kind of want to solve it. I want to try solving it. I need a piece of paper or something, or like Makes sense since it was about being a spy. Yeah, I'm gonna open up a little... Oh, whoops. Ignore that. What? Where am I going? I'm trying to move my notepad document. Instead, I'm just moving myself around wildly. Let's see. So, let's try... I'm gonna try and solve this. Here, I'll put my little notepad on the screen so everybody else can see it, too. Window capture. There you go. You can see me trying to solve this. Oh, you can barely read it, though. There you go. I'm gonna type it out. I like puzzles a lot. A-Y-L-I-S-L J-S-L-M L-A-V A-P-N B-W. I'm not, like, that good at ciphers, but, like, I just recognize that second to last word. I'm like, that has to be your. Like, that's my... If there's an apostrophe in it, unless it means, like, something else. Like, the apostrophe is another cipher thing. F-V-B apostrophe Y-L E-L-S-J-E-T-L. Move this up a little bit so chat can see. Okay, wait, actually I should move it down so I can try and solve it. Okay. So I don't know what the first line is. But I do know that there's 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Your. Let's see, where does it say F on here? No other F's. V is O. That's not enough letters? I'm just... Wait, here's what I'll do. I'll put this back up. Y-O-U-R-E. So there's no other F's. There's a V, I think is O. And then... O. You solved it? Well, let me get to it first, okay? Give me a chance. When I get frustrated with it, I'll come to you. B is a U. Y is an R. R. Any other Y's? O-T-L. L is E. This is fun. This is fun. I just wish there was, like, jazzier music behind it or something like that. J-S-L-M. So it's an E. I think A is T, because I imagine, because it could be so, or it could be two. No, I think it's T. So it says... Wait, I've gotten my brain all mixed up. I think A is... It's either T or it's S. Let's try T. Lux, is it T or S? ST, okay. Because T and S are like the most common ones, so it's like really easy to kind of figure it out from there. I... Hmm. P, V, S, L. What could the S be? Hmm. Now I'm lost. Just type it in chat, Lux. Give me a hit. Oh, this W is probably an S. Because it spells us. No, it's not? Okay, never mind. L? What is L? L is E. S is L. S's are L's? Okay. That means that last word is toll? Is that right? No? Did I screw something up? Oh, okay. Just tell me what it is. Or at least push me in the right direction. Oh, it's not toll, because the T, I need to change that T. That's all what it is. Our...
Think of what the last two words would be.
Your... I don't know. Dearest?
Thank you.
You're welcome? Oh, is it... why would I know that? Okay, so if that last word is welcome... Mole. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Where's any other D's on here? No. L. We got the E. S's or L's. C is J. M is T. Okay, now I'm lost again. You can solve the code names too. Is J... I forget what our guy's name was, honestly. Smith?
I believe he was... The option to tell his real name was Ashton something.
No, that was fake. That was a fake name.
I thought Smith was the fake name.
I'm pretty sure Ashton was a fake name. Did I really not find the key? The P? What's P? Tell me what P is. Oh, hold on. Time. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Still don't know what the W... Okay. So it says time... What is the N? I'm not working with the best set of materials here, Lux. I'm like...
You haven't solved the K either.
I know. I solved the I.
Where are moles?
Dig? So is it dig? Okay. Time to dig up our mole. Okay, you're welcome.
These ones I don't think you're gonna get. The M is an F.
The M is an F. Does this just say like triple clef or something like that?
And the I is a B.
Treble clef. Treble clef, time to dig up our mole. You're welcome. Okay.
And the H is also
H is also...
a code.
Yeah. The J is,
That would be
a C. And then the control. And then H is a different letter, but I don't know what letter that is.
A.
A. Okay. Treble clef, time to dig up our mole. You're welcome. Thank you, Lux, for your help.
You're welcome.
I would have been able to get that on my own. It just would have taken...
It's a Caesar cipher.
It's a Caesar cipher? I don't do ciphers a lot. I definitely know I could have figured that out on my own. I just...
I've done them in a long time, but it's like the cipher.
Yeah, I know. It's just I didn't want to sit here, force chat to sit here for so long. Cool, though. Alright. Coming soon. So, I think that might have just been one game. There's actually more. Like, there's a second, like, chapter to play? I think. I'm not gonna play it all the way, just want to make sure that I'm not, like, starting in Act 2. Yeah, this is a different game. Cool. Switzerland closes borders to refugees. Under pressure from Germany, Switzerland will no longer offer sanctuary to refugees without a visa. Since 1933, the small Alpine country has taken in thousands of political refugees, though those seeking asylum due to their race or religion were turned away. Today, all refugees at the Swiss border are being told that the lifeboat is full. Although this decision is sure to meet with strong criticism, Switzerland has taken in more refugees from Germany than any other European nation. Wow, okay. I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it too long. I'm just going to close out. But there's that second game. So, I might play this on Monday. Depending. I don't know. I really, really like this game. Honestly, part of me is like, I would love to play this with Pat. I feel like Pat would like eat this up. So I want to see if they might be interested in playing alongside me. But yeah, it's great. Such a cool game. I think I'm going to leave it on this screen. And let's see if we can find somebody to send a raid to, because I know I can't start a new chapter right this second because I will be way too tired to get through it all. So let's see who's online. A lot of people playing Pokemon by the looks of it. I think I've got someone good to raid, but I have to make sure that people are not. When you stream this late, you have to make sure that people aren't ending stream the moment that you get in. So that is what I am doing right now. And then of course you also have to like make sure you have to wait through like an ad. Okay. Yeah, okay. I know people are playing Pokemon. They're gonna be there for a while because it just came out. So let's go raid. Let's go say hi to Octocopi. It's really cool. They're playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond / Shining Pearl. One of the two. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with me. I hope you all have a wonderful night. And I'm excited to play more of this game in the future. Yeah, if you don't know me, I play lots of games Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Sometimes Saturdays if I'm feeling up for it. And yeah, I hope all you, if you're going to bed sometime soon, I hope all your dreams come true. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye. Oh, I'm so short because I moved myself down. Bye.